Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Hello and welcome to Stone's Gambling Hall. I'm David Tuckman, this is Valerie Cross, and we are here for the Survivor Series. Thank you so much for joining us here on Stone's Live. Valerie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I got to tell you, I want to thank Justin Caritis, the tournament director here, over here at Stone's Gambling Hall, because this is the third time I've been here. Well, the fourth time I've been here, but the third time I've been here for the Survivor Series, and my co-commentator has gotten better each time.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I started with Veronica, then I went to Justin, and now I've got Valerie.
I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily a...
You don't have to know. I know, okay? It's okay. I know you're being humble. It's great. It's fine. Whatever.
Justin does run a tight ship, though, around here.
Yeah, no, Justin,
And
yeah.
bringing in star power tonight with David Tuckman here.
Whatever. Anyway, thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with us. Let's be honest. You had nothing better to do. And I'm glad, okay? So grab a beer, grab yourself a good beer, grab yourself some pizza, order in Chinese, okay?
Yeah, there's no shame in that.
Yeah, no, honestly, there comes a point in everybody's life where Saturday night at home, watching Netflix or poker,
Yeah,
drinking a
Twitch
beer.
poker, preferably.
Yeah, drinking a beer is far better than like going out and paying $7 for a pint somewhere else.
Yeah, sadly, it does come to that.
Right. So Survivor Series, by the way, if you are new to it, over a period of 9 weeks, we have a game each and every Saturday where you at home will vote for our winner. The person who gets the most votes by the end of the night will move on to week 10, and on week 10, those 9 winners will play a sit and go. The winner of that will win themselves, stop yourselves, a $10,000 main event seat at the World Series of Poker.
Free $10,000 seat.
Yeah. So who knows?
Pretty
You could
decent.
A free roll where you could probably make money, because I've seen the lineup in this 5-10 game. You could actually make money. It's a free roll into the 10K main event seat. So I'm really excited about this. Obviously, we started this a few weeks ago. There is still time for you to get involved in it if you want to play in it. I want to say this is week 5.
Yes.
Off the top of my head.
Yes.
So we still have a few weeks left for you to get involved with it. And as well, of course, we are here every Saturday night with other ones as well. So
Yeah.
tonight, 5-10 no limit hold'em. Next week is 8-16-08. And
So you can still get your bios in for that. Get them in by Wednesday at noon.
right, what she said.
Yeah.
So David Tuckman, Valerie Cross, thank you so much for joining us. As I can see,
Good to have you all here.
who's here? Rick and Barstow, Wap Ride.
Yeah. We got the usual suspects. I'm Lyman's son. Welcome everyone. Angry Polak, who is angry at you now, so
Yeah, he said
that's on
she's
you.
younger, smarter, and better looking.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Nah, come on.
I thought,
We got a great team here. We got a great team. He's trying to drive a wedge. Don't let it happen.
Whatever, you know what? I don't come up to Sacramento very often. I asked Veronica if she wanted to go to lunch,
You
and
gotta
she
stir it
totally
up,
blew me off.
stir it
Okay,
up.
whatever.
Oh, I see.
Whatever. Anyway, let's get to the table.
Yeah, let's check out the action. We got I think it'll be a pretty action-packed 5-10 no limit for you guys. Seat 1, we got Chris. He got in on the bio. He likes to play deep stack poker. We got a hand for Justin too.
I'll watch the table. You describe the players.
Okay. Kyle G in seat 2. got through on ours. KCC in seat 3. You might have seen him on our final table stream of a last Sunday event.
Casey is in that very pretty orange shirt.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Seat 4, we got Matt H, local crusher. And he got through on a bio also. He says, poker is fun for everyone except for my opponents. They should have practiced avoidance. I like that.
Right. We have a fan of Flock of Seagulls. Did you see that guy's hair?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Seat 5, Azan was a late addition to the game, but always good for the game. He's another local crusher.
When you say good for the game, a lot of people think good for the game as in, he's kind of a fish.
Yeah,
Azan
definitely
is
not a fish.
No, Azan's a good player.
I mean, he can definitely mix it up. He's not afraid to bring some action. Puts people to the test, so I like that. Seat 6, we got Peter. 7 is Danny, or Brooklyn Dan as we like to call him. Seat 8 is Earl. He needs no introduction.
Earl the Pearl.
Earl the Squirrel. And then seat 9 we have Harlan, who also got through on ours. So great lineup tonight. Expecting some action.
General rule of thumb, when you see a guy, and you'll see Harlan in a second as we take a look at the chip counts. Danny Boxer, by the way. So this guy was Danny Brooklyn last week. Now he's Danny Boxer. Whatever.
I like it.
So if you see a guy, look at the guy in seat 9. That's Harlan.
Yeah.
If you see a guy dressed like that, wearing that hat,
what do you think?
I've never met a guy like that. I'll put it this way. The guy's VPIP is not going to be like 6.
Yeah.
He's going to play some hands. He's going to mix it up.
I agree. I mean, I think the hats that people wear say a lot about the action that they may bring. Like those little golf hats, the people who wear the little golf hats, those are the best.
Right. Oh,
you want, like,
visors?
3 of them at your table. No, like the like fancy golf hats.
Fancy?
Like the Bagger Vance kind of.
Oh.
I don't know what they're called.
Hold on. Do I have one? I think
Do you have one?
I have one here. I have one of those.
Perfect. We have props.
I am prepared. Exactly. We have props.
I think we have a $10 straddle.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter raises it up 35 with King Jack. King Jack suited. I lost my audio. Not sure why though.
Yeah, I am audio-less, by the way, so I do not know if the players are talking. If they start talking, Valerie's going to shut me up, and we will listen to the table talk.
I can't hear it anymore.
I do promise.
I don't know why. Your mixed call? 2, 3, 4, 1 spade. Yeah, expecting Earl to
Are you always betting
play a
that
little
flop?
position here.
Are you always betting that flop in the sense? I mean, you're never getting a better hand to fold.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in Peter's spot, he really can't have too much. So, it doesn't hit Earl's range, really, but,
What was your 3-better? You could have jacks, queens, kings.
Peter shouldn't necessarily have much either, unless he has like a medium pair, but... So I guess it's a pretty safe one to see bet.
I guess my question is...
checking back, though.
Right, that's what I was going to say. I guess my question is really, we're never getting a pair to fold, right, on that board. Like, if a guy has 7s, he's going to call at least one straight.
Yeah.
So I guess my question for you is, are you betting there to either set up a double-barrel bluff, or are you betting there to just, like, prevent your opponent from hitting a random 3-outer or 6-outer on the turn?
Yeah, I think more like the second one. And also, when you check back that flop, it's kind of like turning your hand face up as ace king or ace queen, something like that. Some kind of 2-overs, although I like checking back and then betting any face card.
Right.
You can rep it, but...
I mean, and obviously, if you have history with your opponent, you can occasionally check back with aces or kings. I mean, I think checking back with aces on a flop like that is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just your opponent's...
Yeah, and if you balance that with checking back like ace king or something, could be good. Kyle with big hand here. Harlan with jacks. Earl's going to open the pot with 8-5 suited.
I kind of like it. I mean, if you're going to play that hand, I like coming in for an open. He obviously doesn't know what everybody has.
He warned us that he was going to come in firing, so...
8-5 suited, I mean, that's a hand that's got a lot of value.
I bet.
I like that.
Especially against jacks and kings.
Right.
So Harlan flats with jacks. Kyle's going to put in a 3-bet here. Looks like 130. with the kings
That
on
might-
the button.
See, this is going to be interesting because that might bring in Matt, and then I wonder if Harlan.
Wow.
Matt did not call.
Yeah, Matt's a disciplined player. He recognizes.
Discipline meaning tight, or just disciplined.
Just disciplined. Okay. Yeah.
The 8-5 of clubs gets out of the way. Harlan's not going to fold. He's going to call. Pot's 305. And how about top set for Kyle?
Decent.
You ever slow playing this?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, Harlan can't love this. I mean, Kyle has position. I think he could definitely check back, which he did, right?
He did check back, and he's not that deep, so I mean, you can make an argument for it. The one thing that I always kind of tell my students or anybody that asks, I go, if you're slow playing for one of two reasons. Either A, you think your opponent is likely to make a strong second best hand.
Yeah.
Or
Let
B,
him, catch up.
Right, or B, your opponent, you can induce a bluff.
Yeah.
I think too often we see people slow play against players who don't bluff. And then it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
He's not going to bluff.
Yeah, I think Kyle definitely checked back here for value on later streets, which looks like it's going to work.
You got one straight.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have top set, it's kind of interesting. It's like you can make a lot more money with pocket fours on a king-queen 4 board than you can with pocket kings. Simply
Because what
really,
can they have?
And
you hope they have like ace-queen.
Right, and even there, how much are you really going to get? I mean, the only thing you can really hope for is your opponent's got jack-10, and somehow he gets there and you full up.
Right.
That's dangerous poker.
Or, you get 2 streets out of a draw hand, yeah.
Right. So I'm going to...
Yeah, this is where no limit is very different than PLO. I've been playing a lot of PLO, and it's been taking me a little while to adjust to no limit, because it's like I flop top set and no limit, and I'm just ready to fire out because that's what I do in PLO.
Well, yeah, I mean, in PLO, like free cards. What? No.
Yeah, exactly.
You give somebody a free card, you've lost.
There's just so much value in betting.
Yeah.
Street.
I was asking. You have a slow metabolism.
So I actually played with Azan. I'm familiar with Earl as well. So Azan in seat number 5, he's got the striped shirt and glasses on, right? It's right across from the table from the dealer. I thought he was a very good player. He was on my left and put some pressure on me. 3-bet me a few times, and was definitely balanced with like his value and some bluffs, at least from what I thought.
Yeah, I think Azan is definitely a top player in the area.
Range for 35.
You'll see him mix it up, but mostly just playing super solid position poker. Putting pressure on opponents. I think Azan and Matt, very solid, just like to put pressure on their opponents.
Once again, thank you for spending your Saturday night with us. Valerie Cross, David Tuckney in the booth here for the Survivor Series. We are at Stone's Gambling Hall next week, 8/16, Limit Omaha. If that's your thing, make sure you get your bios in by Wednesday, or you can come down here and put some hours in, qualify that way as well. Danny Boxer raises to 35. Boxer, by the way, our chip leader at this particular cash game.
Yeah.
3,200 in front of him.
Like he has everyone covered pretty much.
First vote?
Oh.
They're voting.
Oh, that whole thing.
Yeah, we're voting.
Yeah, so you guys click the link in the chat, vote for your favorite player. The first category should be the style
best
category.
Dressed.
Yeah, best dressed, most stylish.
What do you think? What's your vote so far?
We got lots of tough contenders here. Nod.
Sarcasm. I'm amazed that like people don't put a little more flair into the.
We have gotten some, and the audience didn't really support it. So.
You got to own it. I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's hard to go against seat 9 because nobody else is really putting.
I know.
effort.
I think he's got to be the front runner here. I mean, that sweet hat. I mean, nice color shirt.
You're
Looks
never
like
too
a
old
boss.
for pastel.
Oh no. Yeah, Harlan's definitely rocking the pastel and that hat. Not sure why I lost my audio. Did that have to do with the computer?
I have no. Oh.
I don't know.
Well, it wasn't plugged into my computer, so I don't know why.
35.
Push that in.
I can push it in.
At least I don't really.
Valerie, I'm a married man. Gosh, this is so awkward.
Right on camera too.
No. Does your husband watch this?
Sometimes.
Oh God, I apologize.
He trolls sometimes.
I'm sorry. A raise here by Earl. with the old 7 deuce of hearts under the gun +1. He's going to get called in 1, 2, 3 spots.
The old 7 deuce ball.
Azan decides not to 3-bet this. He just flats. I know he considered it.
I think people do kind of switch it up against Earl too, like kind of take a little bit more passive lines against him.
There's a lot of clubs out there, and it's a really good flop for Peter. Unfortunately for him, I mean, Casey's got a pair of aces, but nobody else has like a really strong hand to give him action.
Yeah, I mean, especially in a five-way pot. No one's gonna go too crazy with 3 clubs on the board.
Look at Peter, like with his hand on his mouth. Did you see it? He's just like kind of feigning like disinterest. Like, oh,
yeah.
Ho-hum, whatever.
Yeah, anytime someone looks super bored in a pot.
And then wakes up.
Yeah.
With like raises you, you're like, ah.
And then check raises you, just fold.
Yeah, the guy, I was playing with a guy earlier on today here at Stone's. Great poker room, by the way, if you guys have never checked it out and you're in the Sacramento area. This is one of those very easy places to play. It's just really nice. Food is great. But I played with a guy who like the flop's like queen, queen 3. I put a continuation bet out there. He shakes his head. He like, and then he calls. And I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Okay, I give up.
Right, yeah, you win. Stop.
Well, so Harlan bet this flop. Just trying to take it down there.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, I think.
Yeah, but once he gets called.
Right, his hand has some value. I mean, he's going to actually win that with a bet a lot of the time. Because people, even, you saw, I mean, ace-8 folding. People fold hands that are better than second pair.
Yeah.
So unless somebody has either a really big draw or a really big made hand, he's going to get that through a ton. He realizes once he's called, he's done.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, fortunately for him, he didn't catch an offsuit king or another 9.
Right. Yeah, Peter leads big there on the river, and Harlan folds.
Hey, Angry Pollock. What's going on? Drunken Immaculate. Rick and Barstow, of course. Movie Maker, JJ Casino. I love him.
Drunken Immaculate. I haven't seen that one.
It's a great name.
That is good.
Drunken Immaculate. Are you going to be thirsty
yeah.
after the broadcast?
Yeah,
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Yeah, it's extra dry in this booth, so at the end of the broadcast,
For sure.
the drinks usually flow.
I was doing a podcast on Twitch a couple of days ago, and so I do beer reviews on my podcast.
Yeah.
And I decided I had a couple of bottles of this beer that I was given. I was like, okay, I'll try it. Didn't realize when I brought them into my studio, that they were 10% alcohol. And I was like, wow. So 2 beers in. If you like drunk talk, you can check out that podcast. Azan is going to raise 255. Does he always size it that large?
Again, I think it's the Earl factor.
Okay.
So it looked like Earl limped in, and everyone knows Earl's sticky.
Right. I mean, do you think Azan would raise to 55 if he had ace jack there?
Yeah, I think if he decides to raise ace jack, he would probably make it like the same sizing.
Well, he's got a lock on this hand. Nobody has anything.
And that is an Earl kind of flop, so...
Yeah, Earl's going to lead out.
Earl's going to lead?
I know Earl, but I don't really know how he plays. I assume, is he also leading out here when he has 2 pair?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. And,
This is a pretty easy call for Azan. I don't know what other play you'd make.
Yeah, I think
I'm never
so.
raising here.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to go into check call mode.
Well, he's in position. Azan's on the button, and Earl's under the gun, so Earl let out. I mean, against some like weaker competition, I'm actually raising because a lot of weaker players will bet like 10-9 there. They'll bet top pair, and you can put kind of a min raise in there and just start building a pot up against a hand that you know is never the nuts. But against a tricky player like Earl, who could have 7-8, could have a set, could have 2 pair. I'm certainly never folding, but I can easily call. And look at this, Earl has picked up a straight draw, 7 or a deuce.
Wow.
And that's neither 7 or a deuce, but can he turn his hand into a bluff now? I don't know if he bet enough.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless he said all in.
I think...
no, he moved all in.
Oh, wow.
He did say all in.
Wow.
So he's repping this.
Yeah, and I think, Azan decided to just play some pot control. I mean, the problem is, Earl can easily have 2 pair or a straight there, and especially betting all 3 streets.
Is he betting 2 pair that? I mean, when he bets all in on the river, how polarized is his hand? Like in the sense, like is he doing that with 2 pair? Does he always have a 7 or less, or worse? I mean, a 7 or nothing, basically. I mean.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, especially against Azan, I don't think you can really expect Azan to call with an overpair. Call all in with an
Right,
overpair,
that's what I mean.
so wouldn't he bet less?
With 2 pair.
Yeah, with 2 pair.
So it kind of limits his range to like he has a 7 or nothing on the river.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, that's a really strong overbet by Earl. I actually
it's pretty
love the
sick.
way Azan played the hand. Unfortunately for him, he just, you know,
Yeah, I mean, he's just
Didn't make the
calling,
call on the river.
just hoping Earl slows down, but
or just hoping he continues to bluff. I mean, let's be honest. Azan
hoping
did
he
everything.
doesn't go all in, so Azan can call any amount besides all in.
He did everything right except call the river.
I think that's what his plan
Right.
was, you know?
I think a lot of players make the mistake of like, oh, you should have raised the flop. Why? I want to prevent my opponent from bluffing.
Right, yeah, I mean,
Why would I wanna
if
do
he's
that?
bluffing, let him bluff.
Right. And if he's got me beat, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get a hand better than queens to fold.
Yeah, I mean, you might make a case for raising in case Earl has a 1 pair gut shot type hand, but even then, you know, you want him just to keep bluffing. Which he did, but the pressure, he just turned the pressure up too high.
Yeah. The thing is, I wonder this. I mean, how many 7s, unless he actually flopped a straight, 7, 8, how many 7s does he have in his range?
I mean, it's Earl. I think,
The board, remember, the flop was 9, 6, 5.
yeah, that's why I'm
If he had
saying,
9, 7, he's not leading out with 9, 7.
I don't know.
Really? Like, I mean, I feel like when he leads out,
Yeah,
he's got a lot of air, he's got some draws,
yeah.
and he's got some made hands.
Yeah, I think against most people you can make that assumption, but I think
Not
against
with Earl?
Earl he might lead there with a pair and a gutter.
Okay.
And that's the problem, and that's why Azan, leans toward folding. Probably just waiting to get in a little bit better spot against Earl. Does Earl have a range? Yeah, I mean, good question, Angry Pollock. That's what I'm saying. Like, he limp called, so his limp call range is just any 2, I think,
So all sorts of stuff
depending on his mood.
all sorts of stuff going on here at Stones. I mean, I know the Hydra is coming up.
Yeah, that's right. $200 buy-in, 6 starting flights.
Tomorrow, I know there's some sort of tournament going on tomorrow
Yeah,
with
tomorrow.
Annette
yeah.
Oberstad
Yeah.
and Erico Lindgren.
Yeah, that's right. There will be $500 bounties on their heads.
Not literally on the
It's-
heads, but if you beat them, you'll get $500. It'd be
That'd be
weird.
cool though if you like knock them out and you just
yeah,
like
they have to hold the money.
cha-ching, and it
The
goes
money's on their
into
head.
your like virtual bank.
Right.
Maybe someday.
You feel so good about yourself.
Yeah, that's a bankroll builder. $250 bankroll builder. The top 10% of the field will get $22.50, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so it kind of plays
Can
like
you
a satellite.
confirm that in the chat? Yeah.
Different strategy.
And
I know Lon is going to be here tomorrow. Lon McCarron will be here tomorrow.
no bounty on Lon, but he'll be hanging out playing.
You know what? I'm going to put a bounty on Lon. So if you knock out Lon, and it's confirmed by Lon, I will send you a 6-pack of beer.
Nice.
Okay.
There you go.
There's a
Wow,
bounty
that's
on
awesome.
Lon's head.
All right. I don't know how he's going to feel about that, but you heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
It's official. So Matt H picked up that last pot with aces.
Why are you gonna watch? You already know how we all play.
Apparently, Matt H is just raising with aces or better tonight.
Something about right.
Needle.
Matt H is in seat number 4. Right?
Yes, he's forward.
Pardon me.
It is? No way.
So I've watched you play poker. I've been following you on Twitter. I find you entertaining off the table and on the table. So I was actually looking forward to doing this with you.
Yeah, me too.
It's a lot of fun. So Earl raises to $60, and I mean, there's nothing better than like.
So, like, how many 9s does he have in his range here? Well, it's Earl, you know?
Oh, and I understand that. And honestly, when he's opening on the button, I know he's opening 90. He's probably opening 100% of the button.
Before you got here.
In that particular spot, that was a
He's like, I have a 9.
straddle call out of and then lead out. So I mean, I think that
a little different.
defines his range a little bit more.
So I have that, and then I'm thinking,
Nonetheless, though, $2,800.
now, you're like, I got one.
$1,600.
But then I actually had it.
This is once again table stakes. You can match the largest stack on the table. I know sometimes the 5-10 game here is uncapped. But this one particularly, I think it's normally a 500 to 2,000, but you can buy it up to 3,200. And that goes the same for the 1-3 game here or the 2-5 game, which makes the games here at Stone's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the 1-3 here it's got to be the best in the area for sure. It plays pretty big.
I had $1,700 at a 1-3 game. Now forget about the fact that I bought in for $3,300. Okay, but I had.
Hey, it happens sometimes.
Right. No, in all fairness, the Stones Gambling Hall, great beer. They have a really good beer.
Good food.
Good food.
Good people.
A really good card room.
Great dealers.
I mean, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. This is a really good place to play. Harlan's going to raise with the ace-10 suited on the button. Very standard. Open raises in this particular game are bigger than a 5. I generally play 5-10 down in the LA area, and most opens in 5-10 in LA are like 35-ish, 35-ish.
Well,
It looks like Casey had $20 out there already.
Okay, so we got a 5-10-20?
Yeah. Okay,
So it was a straddle?
20, yeah.
Well, then in
So
that
that
case,
makes-
it was actually a really small race
Yeah,
because you only make it like 2x, a little bit over 2x.
yeah.
By the way, ace-10 is good. Casey's going to let him get the showdown.
Casey decides not to try to bet. Not to try to bluff that one out of position.
I think there are some boards where I'm not going to introduce. I think when I defended out of the straddle,
But he caught a long time on the river. He had
checks it
that.
back a couple of straights, it's a Jack-9 board.
Did you bet or did I bet?
Those are cards that are gonna like be in my perceived range.
Yeah,
If they go out of the straddle, like I'm gonna be defending hands like 10-9, Jack-10.
Yeah.
You know,
And he shipped it.
Jack-8 hands like that. I might be defending.
Yeah, at the same time, I feel like his time to bluff it is the turn probably. Because when Harlan checks back twice, he probably has some kind of showdown value, which, he's thinking ace 10
He
could
could have
be
queen
good.
10.
I don't know if you would call it that, but yeah, I think Casey probably could have taken a stab at that on the turn.
Flapper asking if I rent one of those nice RVs for WSOP. Do I look like the kind of guy who sits in an RV? Seriously, man, come on. I'm like one of those like pretty boys. I don't sit in an RV. No,
Yeah, you need your vanity mirror.
Exactly. Hello. No
Pretty
fairness.
rest mattress.
I know Negrano does that every summer. That's pretty
Oh,
sweet.
yeah?
Yeah, he has one of those.
I bet it's super swanky.
I mean, it's nice because you can like during breaks you can go in there and do it.
Nice.
No, in all fairness, the production team does have like a little green room where we have food and stuff. So, but no, I don't have anything like that.
Yeah. Especially when
Raised
you're there
for
so
Zahn?
long.
So once
Nice
it,
to have a real place.
so this is a straddle pot once again. So the 5-10-20. So when you see raised to 20, it's actually a straddle pot, which makes this game bigger.
Yeah.
Zahn opens to 60, which is a little bit more standard. Peter calls. Expect the Zahn to bet this and take it down 91% of the time.
Yeah. The queen low flop.
And I like
Yeah.
betting here because I think you get threes to fold. I think you get like, you get hands that you actually are losing to fold.
Yeah, exactly. And Peter's not too sticky. I think he, for the most part, he plays pretty straight up. And if Peter were to call that flop, I think Azan maybe makes a decision. Probably shuts it down,
Right. Depending on what the turn
or
is.
turns a club.
Rick and Barstow is correct though. I do rent a house every summer. I have rented a house in Vegas for like the last 6 or 7 years. I think it's the way to go. You can Airbnb it, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
If you're going for a week, like if you go to the series for a week, just some like World Series of Poker hashtag sort of pro tips. But I think if you're going for a week or less, stay in the hotel. Stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Definitely.
You're there. You can just go down. You can go upstairs. It's easy.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be there more than a week, I would Airbnb it, rent a house, rent a condo, give yourself a break when things go bad, and invariably they tend to occasionally.
Yeah.
You can get away from this trip for a little bit, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly. Harlan's going to take that one down with the raise and the cutoff. With ace-8 offsuit.
Oh, I'm so annoyed. Wait, top hands. We're so
Did we
okay.
see- what
We're
happened?
so bad at this. Justin asks us to do one
happened?
thing and one thing only: write down hands that are good. Right? This is an empty pad. There's already been one good hand. No one all moved all in.
Oh, yeah.
How long goes that?
Sorry, Justin.
I mean, how bad are we at this?
Hey, at least we remembered earlier this time.
Is that like 20 minutes ago? Does anybody have a timestamp? Can somebody go
Let's
backwards on
say
Twitch?
7:15-ish.
Give me a timestamp.
7:15. Yeah, I think as long as you get the cards, it's easier for them to find it. All right, so we should be on our second voting category.
Already? No, there's 20. Oh yeah, there's a most entertaining player. We have
Yes.
about 28 minutes left in the most entertaining player. So once again, whoever you vote for, this is up to you guys. Whoever you vote for, the person who gets the most votes today will then play on June 18th in a 9-handed sit and go. The winner of that sit and go will win themselves a 10K main event seat at the World Series.
Yeah.
So
Super free roll.
many ways for you to vote, by the way. You can vote using your smartphone. You can vote using your laptop. But there is one vote per IP address.
Yeah, that's right. So you can vote twice if you use your phone and your laptop. You can call your friends, call your mom, have everyone vote.
And by the way, that is per. Not only that is actually per 30 minutes,
Yes.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so there's a new category every 30 minutes, so you should get on there and vote.
I'm gonna put this out right now.
Nice. Tighter vote so far, Watt Bryce says. All right. So, what's up, Poker Pro Eric? Yeah, make sure you get on there and support your favorite players. We already have 4 people in that final table satellite, and one person from this game will have a chance to win a 10K seat. So vote them in. Matt H gonna continuation bet there on the King Jack Deuce flop with 4s. See, we get to see some different gears from Matt. I think Matt just a really solid, likes to play position.
I'm very proud of everyone there.
Knows how to put pressure on people.
How fast
So
is it?
he's definitely a crusher.
Alright,
Yeah, him and is on.
Are you just being nice? All these guys can't be crushers.
No.
I'm not saying Matt's not, okay? Matt, don't take it the wrong way. I'm not suggesting that you're not a crusher. But I mean, a lot of these guys, according to you, are solid crushers. They can't all be solid
I
crushers.
think I only said it about 2 people. Although, okay, yeah.
When you walk into the Bellagio,
Maybe I'm just nice.
that's what I'm saying. When you
Not
walk
too
into the
nice.
Bellagio and you see Bobby's room and you see all
all
those
suck.
all those big names playing, for thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
The reason the game runs is because everybody in that room is not a crusher. There's somebody in that room who's not very good. That's why the game runs.
Yeah.
It's okay. So Chris, 3-bet. I'm sorry, Chris just raises out of the straddle, and we continue on.
With 2
Stacks, by
cues.
the way, not very deep if they're going to be playing 5, 10, 20.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's what I'm here for. No, it's just an interesting thought where it's like a lot of these guys
yeah.
like playing deep stack poker, and at 5-10, they're 150 to 200 to 300 big blinds deep. But if you're playing 5, 10, 20, and the open raises are $60, $70,
Yeah, if you're under 2,000, you're under 100 big blinds.
Veronica and Friends every Wednesday. On the third Wednesday, every third Wednesday of the
Yeah,
month.
that's right.
Veronica and 8 of her friends come out and play. Veronica basically pretends to be friends with 8 people so she can bring them out
Yeah.
and then just steal their money.
Actually, the game has been changed to Veronica and Prisoners, and
And Prisoners?
The most recent one is Veronica and Hostages.
Chris, the rule is if you
How have I not been
win
invited to
my
this?
straddle pot, you have
Well, last time it was all lady friends. Sorry. Sorry. That may change in the future, but no
we all signed a
spoilers.
contract and everything.
I don't know. I don't know anything. Stay tuned, though. You guys do not want to miss Veronica and Friends. That's
a lot of fun.
Sure. All right, Casey raises it up here to 60. The Ace-10 offsuit. Brooklyn Dan gonna defend in the small blind with 6-7 suited. Decent flop for him. Goes check on the flop. Looks like Dan's gonna lead the turn here on the jack turn. It'd be interesting to see if Casey defends here. Casey tries to make a move. What do you think? Looks like he just flats.
He just flats, which I think is fine because
Yeah.
he's not repping much. If he's
Right.
checking back the flop and then betting the turn, like what is he repping? 7-5
Well,
deuce. Like he's like,
Did Dan check call the turn? I was
no,
thinking
Dan,
Dan led the turn.
I think he led, and now Casey's turned his hand into a bluff, realizing he can't be good. Now Casey is correctly deduced that his ace high is no showdown value after he called the turn.
And he could have a queen jack type hand.
Yeah, I mean,
Jack 10 suited, something like that.
The big thing is, would he bet? I mean, a lot of players aren't betting like Jack 10 or Queen Jack here. Maybe they're betting Ace Jack or better.
Yeah, or at least the sizing.
Right.
Maybe
The question really is right. The question you have to ask yourself, I guess, is how thin is Casey value betting this river?
Right. And Dan makes the call, and we've seen Dan make some pretty big calls lately.
The problem is he's not repping much.
Yeah.
Okay. When the turn is a diamond and that board was 7-5 deuce with the rainbow, the Jack of Diamonds brought a diamond draw.
Yeah.
When the river is such a blank, and my opponent decided to check back the flop, call turn.
Yeah.
And now value bet like 70% pot on the river. He's really repping a really narrow range in my opinion. Like I feel like it's like he has Ace Jack here,
Maybe King Jack.
maybe King Jack, and maybe a set of fives. Because I have 7-6.
Yeah.
And if he had a set of fives, he might have bet the flop, he might have raised. So he doesn't even have all those sets. Like maybe he has one combination.
Yeah.
And I feel like he has a lot of combinations of missed diamond draws. Like he missed diamonds on a turn and
exactly.
then
with like ace high diamonds, something like that.
I mean, I think if you call turn with ace 10, you're calling because you think you have showdown value.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think there are cards that could have come off that you could have used and gotten your opponent off to 7.
But not
a
the
deuce.
Yeah,
Deuce
not
is
the
great.
deuce pairing.
Right.
Yeah. So good call by Brooklyn Dan there.
Yeah.
He won't be pushed around.
No. You won't be. Harlan looks like a guy you want me to push down. Look at those guns. Look at those, man.
Wow.
Arms bigger than my
Kind
legs.
of scary.
Yeah, seriously. A lot of diamonds out there this time, and Earl with the best diamond in his hand, and actually not the best hand right now though, because Harlan's got top pair of the 9 of diamonds. Goes checks around. Earl now picks up a pair of 10s to go along with the 10 of diamonds. Now Harlan's gonna bet.
I would expect Earl to check call here. Maybe see what develops. Just gonna talk to him, try to get some info.
Nice lay down by Earl.
You know, Earl likes to be the aggressor. You know, he's not really into just check calling out of position.
Right. I dated a girl like that. She liked to be the aggressor. That's cool. I like whatever. I'm into anything.
To each his or her own.
Right. Exactly. Hey. It was a fun like 3 weeks. That's Valerie Cross. I'm David Tuckman. You are whoever you might be. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday night.
What's up, everyone?
I see that our viewership numbers are starting to spike up a little
Oh
bit.
yeah,
which is
they're
nice.
spiking. Soggy cakes. We got Andrew Barber in the house.
What's up, Barbara?
Wow.
I love Andrew Barber.
What's up, Andrew?
Yeah, this is a really good night of poker. I'm actually pretty excited about this. It's a nice mix. I think when you have too many crazies at the table, it becomes a little bit almost like off the rails. Like okay.
Yeah.
But this is kind of a nice mix of like, I feel like we have a couple of pros at the table. We've got 4 or 5 amateurs, and then a couple of kind of crazies.
Yeah.
So it's a nice mix.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of game that I'd be very happy to watch and commentate on for a long time.
For like 3 hours, what'd you say?
We should do overtime tonight.
Oh, okay. So we are still voting on the second category.
Earl apparently kept his ace 10. He's the same ace 10. Ace heart 10. The same two cards.
Earl, you should have at least traded the ace in for a diamond.
Right?
Ace of diamonds.
Well, he's got top pair here. Danny Boxer has second pair.
I wonder where that boxer thing came from. I'm gonna have to ask him about that.
Maybe he's a Brooklyn boy who boxed. I mean,
know?
it's not. My dad's from
Possible.
Brooklyn.
Nice. Is he a boxer?
No. My dad's a lover, not a fighter. River's a jack, and I think a lot of players kind of slow down here and they don't bet their ace-10, and I think it's a huge mistake. While your opponent very well could have a jack in their range, namely jack-10, they're going to have a lot of other 10s. They're going to have queen-10, they're going to have king-10, they're going to have 10-9, and all those hands are more likely.
Yeah, and especially after we just saw Danny make that check call on the river against Casey. You know, I'm surprised Earl didn't go for a little value there.
Especially being Earl. I mean, Earl is the one player at the table that everybody knows.
Yeah.
In Justin Paredes.
And most people are going to be calling
Right,
him down
Justin
a little
Works
lighter.
came out and said he's kind of a B celebrity, B focused celebrity. People, especially in Northern California, people know who he is.
Yeah, for sure.
And as you said, people are going to call him down lighter because they know he's capable of bluffing. So Earl, I mean, if you're Earl, why not start value betting a little bit lighter? And I don't even think ace-10 is that light.
Yeah, so does that mean that he could have shoved that one river against Zahn with 2 pair?
Maybe. That's
possible.
the crazy thing. Well, I mean,
It depends how well he knows Zahn,
if
too.
a Zahn thinks he's so polarized to have a 7 and only a 7,
Yeah.
then you might
Or-
actually get called by aces and kings and queens.
Yeah.
And if you think that, then yeah, you can shove. I mean, frankly, you could very easily make the argument. I think Earl knew. Obviously, he knows a 7 is good, but I think based on the way the hand played out, I think Earl knows that 2 pair is good too. It's just a question of how much value he can get.
Right.
So maybe you would have
Shove
moved
seems a little,
a little ambitious.
yeah, a little much, but
But
still an interesting hand. It'll be, I hope Bart breaks that one down for us. So it looks like Peter opened up this pot. We get calls from Danny and Harlan.
yeah, Peter's got the best hand right now, but it's going to be tough for him to get the showdown.
Yeah.
He's got backdoor diamonds. Danny Boxer's got a hand that I actually kind of like. On a rainbow board, he's got a gut shot to the nuts plus backdoor diamonds.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely going to want to see a turn here.
This is the kind of hand that I occasionally will play strong because it's just, unless your opponent, like there's so many things, there are so many kind of like nut hands out there that it's really hard. If your opponent has a hand like, well, 8-6 is obviously easily, but even if your opponent has a hand like king queen,
Yeah.
It's
How
really
much
hard.
pressure can you really take?
Yeah.
And Danny has the 10 blocker, and Danny's a PLO player, and I know he's thinking about these things. So
Since
having
you-
the 10 there.
oh,
Ew,
look at this.
diamond on-
And now Peter's, see that's an interesting card because Danny Boxer might want to push, but Peter's not going to go
Wow.
anywhere now because now he thinks he's got a ton of equity.
Yeah. And,
You can see they're basically a coin flip.
yeah.
Hey, being a PLO player and a no limit player, how often does it get you in trouble in no limit where you like, oh, I've got a blocker? 'Cause I know a lot of PLO guys that play no limit and then suddenly think, I got a blocker, you can't call.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, blocker, schmocker, and no
Yeah, I
limit.
try to get away from that mindset when I'm transitioning.
Right.
It takes a little while though.
So Peter checks, action on Danny.
Wow. And now he has to turn his hand into a bluff here.
Yeah. It might work against this hand. I don't know if it would work against a hand like Queen 10.
Right.
though.
Yeah. But I mean, Danny also has a pretty tight image. I mean, we've seen him make some big calls lately, but yeah, I mean, it would be real tough for Peter to make a call here, especially the way it played out. It looked like Danny was strong.
I think Danny's pretty lucky there, though, in all
Yeah.
fairness.
Yeah.
The board is
The
Queen
run
Jack.
out.
Yeah, well, the board is
Yeah.
well, also the board is Queen Jack 8. Peter led
That was actually my head.
You have diamonds, so it's unlikely your opponent would have diamonds.
Right.
So when you start putting Peter on a range of hands, a lot of his range is actually going to contain queens.
Peter.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's folding a queen. The other hand that he might have is King 10, which is open-ended, which you beat anyway. Ace 10 beats King 10.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I like. And I'm not one to shy away from bluffing. I love bluffing, but I'm just not
So
sure.
fun.
I'm not sure if that was the best spot for it.
Really slow.
I don't know.
I kind of would have liked a raise on a turn.
Yeah. I think,
Now, I don't want to be like results oriented.
Yeah.
He played it perfectly.
yeah, obviously.
But since we don't always know the cards, I actually think if you don't know what your opponent has, I think raising the turn
Yeah, I think that was
And then-
definitely a good option.
would have been a better play.
Yeah, but also just kind of knowing these players a little bit. For Peter to double barrel out of position, it's very rare that it's going to be a bluff or even a semi-bluff type hand like this.
Okay, even
So-
more of a case than would you bluff that is bluffing the river very smart.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, but I think he can get a queen or even like an ace-jack type hand to fold.
You think he's getting a
From
queen
Peter.
default? I've played.
I think it's
he
possible.
called flop, he called turn. Now he's gonna bomb river, and he's gonna get a queen default.
I think
By the time you get to the river, you're like
it
so
looked like-
impatient. You wanted to show your hand. You're like, get
it looked like Danny could have had 9-10 for a flop straight, just kind of slow playing in position.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could have.
Even like a set type hand.
Hey, I'll defer to you. You know these players better than I do.
You know, like you said, raising the turn makes it more likely that he has those kinds of hands. But yeah,
I was on bet 75 when he picked up a gut shot to Broadway. Doesn't get there. Danny Boxer going nowhere. You can see in the bottom left corner of your screen the players' names, their cards, what position they're in, their stack size, and in this case, you can see the check mark next to Danny Boxer's name, which means he will win it if it goes to showdown. Azan is going to bomb though.
first he has to call 215.
Yeah, about
Almost
80,
a
almost pot size bet.
Wow. So Danny had to feel good about his hand once that king hits the turn. You know, he's just wondering, does Azan really have a better king here?
13 minutes and 31 seconds remaining in our vote for the most entertaining player. Who has been the most entertaining player at this table, guys? Who do you want representing Stones?
You know, yeah, I feel like Brooklyn Danny Boxer tonight has been entertaining.
There's the call.
Pretty much.
There's the call. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah.
Not much going Azan's way. So Azan has bluffed and been calmed down, and then got bluffed out on when he had queens.
Yeah, and everything going Brooklyn Dan's way tonight. So far.
Brooklyn Dan just bluffed, and
got a bluff through. Has made a couple good calls. Also, Earl checked back that one hand. He might have considered hero calling.
right? Yeah,
So
exactly.
everything's kind of been going his way.
Going back to that ace-10 of diamonds hand, I think that's the kind of hand where I might have even raised the flop.
Yeah.
Not even the turn. I might have raised the flop,
Right.
and then bomb turn, and then
Yeah.
you probably would have won on the flop, to be honest. But
Yeah. Is he talking to you?
no, he's not. I don't know him $100. I do have a friendly bet with Veronica Brill with Angry Polak
Oh, nice.
about the presidential election.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk politics on the stream.
No,
Justin?
we're not talking. This is a betting thing.
Yeah.
This is merely a bet we made on the presidential election. I am avoiding all politics. So Harlan's going to raise at the old ace-8. Aces and eights, of course, the dead man's hand.
Oh yeah. I missed.
And he's raised out of the straddle? No, he's raised to 80. Wow, that's a big raise.
On the hijack?
Raise from the hijack. Hijack being 2 to the right of the dealer. Junior to poker. Earl called.
So Earl Lynn called there, pre-flop?
Yeah, that's an area where we're going to play. I would have expected Earl just to open.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to play that hand, I don't mind 7-5 offsuit. I think it's fine to play. But I think if you're going to play that hand, why not be the opener? Like you said, he likes to be the aggressor.
Right.
There's a whole table of
What? Andrew Barber, are you ready?
No. Harlan passed his cards to Earl, and Earl looked at him and just slammed him down. It's easy.
Danny Boxer now to 4,300.
Nice.
until later.
Earl at 2,800. Casey, our short stack right now, at 1,100. Again, it's not a tournament; it's a cash game. You can get up whenever you want to, and you can rebuy whenever you want to. Keep in mind, if anybody gets up on the table, they are still eligible to win based on the votes they've already accumulated, but they will not be in any voting stages going forward. Right now, we have some time left still in the most entertaining player section.
Yeah,
So
about
get your
10
votes in,
minutes
guys.
left. Yeah, I mean, it's not a tournament, but all these players are trying to win all the money, so. Yep, still voting for most entertaining players, so get your votes in. We'll have a new category in 10 minutes.
I got a tweet from Huff510. You can tweet me, by the way, at Tuck on Sports. You can also send a tweet to Valerie Cross at
The Cross Poker.
The Cross Poker. I'm just at Tuck on Sports. Huff sends in, says 2 questions. What time are you going to be done commentating tonight, and are you going to be thirsty? We cover the thirsty part. I'm always thirsty. And we are going till 10 p.m. tonight.
That's right. Azan, pretty good flop for Azan. He flops top pair with 9 of clubs.
Yeah,
In
that's the,
position here against Matt.
yeah, and that's the kind of hand you can play. You know, a little bit of a pot control type of line.
Yeah,
I think. You know, you've got showdown value for sure. You're not really scared of much that's going to come out.
I'd be surprised to see Matt barrel here, yeah. Against Azan, I mean, what's Azan calling this flop with?
Yeah, and I like this check back by Azan.
Yeah.
I really do. I know a lot of players that don't check that back
Yeah.
and they bet it. You're just not going to get value.
Right. I
Oh, I
mean,
know
what's
Matt.
Matt check calling with, right?
Matt's a good player too.
Yeah.
Actually, the two.
That's what I was talking about,
I was
Matt
gonna
and
say,
Azan.
These are basically the two pros at the table, right? Matt
Yeah.
and Azan.
Well, also Kyle.
Kyle.
I mean, Brooklyn Dan's pretty solid too.
Okay.
I guess he doesn't play professionally, but I mean, he's been putting in a lot of hours here lately.
And Azan checks back turn and then bets river, and you know, Matt's having nothing to do with it and lets it go. But I like the line that Azan's okay.
Yeah, I agree. Really nice check back there on the turn. No point in betting. Make sure you click that heart button. Make sure you follow the stream so you can get notifications when we go live.
What do they get if they subscribe?
A lot of love.
A lot of love. Is this like angry Pollock
I
love?
don't really know.
What kind of love?
All kinds of love.
Is this an offer? Putting out there?
Yeah. I mean,
PLO every second Monday of the month. Do you cover
that's
that? You
right.
cover the
That's
PLO, right?
I think that's the Deej Poker parent, partnering
that's-
with Stones.
That's great, by the way. Buy-in $200 minimum, $1,500 max.
Yeah,
That game must get huge.
Yeah, that 5 PLO game is awesome.
It's weird.
really
Sometimes
glad it's gonna be a
5-5
monthly
PLO.
thing.
Yeah, sometimes 5-5 PLO plays bigger than 10-20 no limit. It's weird.
Seriously, yeah. And yeah, they made me commentate it last time. I was a little upset.
Made you.
Play the game, you know?
Twisted your arm. Earl's gonna raise the 30. Harlan calls. Casey calls. Peter looks like he's gonna call as well. So we'll see this one 5 ways.
Wow.
Flop is king 5-3, 2 spades out there. Nobody with a king, and the best hand right now is actually. The best hand actually is Harlan with a pair of 5s, but Azan is the favorite to win it because he's got the flush draw. The
Plus 2
percentage of
overs
equity.
to the 5s.
Yes. Harlan's gonna bet 75.
Chris, did you do the makeup show for when you did the
Azan calls. Pot is now $300. Turn is a 4. Azan picks up more outs. He can now catch a 6 as well.
Harlan picks up open-ended too.
Yeah. So Azan actually can't catch a 7 now. Looking for a 6, a 9, or a spade. And Harlan's going to continue firing.
You can't really feel like his 9 is good, so he's looking for a spade or a 6. But I mean,
Yeah.
that 4 does improve his hand, so I don't know.
$180 bet here from Harlan.
Wow.
It's an
What do you
interesting.
think about calling here out of position? I guess it depends if you think you can get value on the
Yeah,
river.
I mean, you're not getting the immediate odds to call this.
Yeah.
But if a 6 comes off or if a spade comes off, are the implied odds there? How likely is it that your opponent's going to pay you off? And
Wow.
and here's another way where you didn't think you could win, and I don't think Harlan should. And this is the weird thing. I don't think Harlan should bet this. My
Yeah.
argument basically is I don't think you're getting Azan to fold a king
Right.
And generally
and it
speaking-
looks like Azan has a king.
or spade draw, and you can beat a spade draw.
Right. Yeah.
Except the 9 of spades. You got kind of unlucky. I mean, the only reason you would
Yeah.
bet this
Right.
is to get your opponent to fold 9x of spades.
Right. Yeah, you have to put him exactly on that.
Right.
Which,
So,
No, I would never do
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think
that. I had
that's why Harlan checks back and just sees the bad news.
right, I mean,
Nine of
if
spades.
Azan had king 10 there, was he folding the river?
I mean, if he's calling the turn, he's calling the river, right?
Theoretically. I know a lot of people say, like, if you call the turn, you call the river, right? Nothing changes. In my view, the thing that changes
Although,
is your opponent's
Betting again.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if your opponent
Good point,
knows that, well, he called the turn, he's probably calling the river, and my opponent's still betting the river.
Well, the thing is, I don't think Azan probably check calls the turn with King 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What do you think he does?
Maybe check fold to the second barrel.
Maybe.
It depends, and I don't know their history. I really haven't played with Harlan much.
Harlan's going to take that one down once again.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of PLO with Brooklyn Dan, or Dan Boxer. Dan Boxer.
How's his PLO game?
It's good. Yeah, he's super solid. We saw him play PLO on the stream the other night, and he kind of surprised me actually. So I think he might have been like owning me in the game, and I just haven't realized it yet. I saw some things out of him that I just didn't expect. A couple like river bluffs surprised me a little bit, but. Yeah, good guy. He lives in New York, and he's been spending a lot of time here. He has lots of kids. I believe they're watching and voting for him. They're
How many
supposed
kids
to be
does he have?
like 9.
9 kids?
9 kids.
1 woman?
2 dogs.
To 1 woman?
No, I think it's a joint family, but
okay.
Yeah.
God bless them. God bless that mom. And 9 kids.
Exactly.
Man, we have 3 minutes left in this particular voting section, which is most entertaining player. So jump on there.
That list. I don't remember the third category.
Third category is voting for the biggest action player who gambles the most.
All right. Got some candidates for that.
Yeah, for sure. King 9, no suits out there. Ace high still the best hands.
See Chris getting involved in a pot. We haven't seen him mix it up, get in there yet.
I didn't even know he was here.
Yeah. When did he sit down?
Who's Chris? Chris, by the way, his quote of the day. So right now I am playing the best poker I've ever played, thinking about the game more thoroughly and playing more than I ever have before. I like to play deep stacked, as you mentioned. I like to have the table covered.
You have to?
It's not necessarily.
Not true.
Yeah, not true. Liar. Lies, exactly.
Don't lie in your bio, guys.
I have no problem making large bluffs, which always makes for an interesting live streaming. Okay, we're going to wait for these bluffs, right? Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, be careful what you put in your bio, because we might blast you on stream.
Well, I mean, hey, let's see. I mean, he's only been on the show for an hour.
Yeah.
Very small sample size.
Looking for a river bluff.
What's up, JC Will? Jesse Will?
Jesse Will.
Stupid is
I
Jew?
feel like I might know who that is.
Just quit now.
Hydra next week, yup. May 20th through 29th. 6 starting flights. May 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Are you fine?
10 a.m. and 6 p.m. I'm on the fence about it because my mom's going to be in town. I'm going to be heading out of town the next weekend.
Ain't hard to beat,
So I'm going to do the final table. So we'll see.
What you can do?
Harlan with top pair, pot $65.
Oh my God! Watch the stream. I don't need to get into play. I don't see winning. Yeah, watch that.
Earl always makes the table fun and interesting.
Yeah, he's a character. He's the kind of guy. You're not surprised when he gets invited to every game, and you're not surprised when he's hosting games.
Yeah.
He's a very charismatic, gregarious guy.
And you're not surprised if he wins a ton or
Or
loses
loses a ton. Lester Diamond asking if I'm going to join Eric Lindgren's fantasy league. If Eric invites me, I'll play. In fact, I think I know Eric's wife will be here tomorrow, and I think Eric might stop in as well. We'll see. Who knows?
That'd be awesome.
I'm pretty excited, huh?
That'd be cool. For sure. Yeah, so tomorrow we have a bankroll builder tournament. So $250 buy-in. Top 10% of the field will take home $22.50. And there are $500 bounties on Annette Oberstad and Erica Lindgren.
Okay, so you want to open it up? You want to open it
What
up?
do you think of Kyle's hair?
Start the spread.
I'm asking everybody at home. No, I mean,
What do you guys think?
what I'm going to say is I think it takes somebody who has a lot of confidence to pull that off. And I think Kyle pulls it off. I could not do that. Okay? But he can pull that off.
I like it.
The Nirvana shirt coupled with that hair.
The hood on the shoulder kind of tilts me though.
Kind of like a throwback to the 1980s.
I mean, I'm all good with 80s style.
Imagine
Right.
you don't start playing hands, what's gonna happen?
Nah, it's cool. Kyle rocks it.
It works for him.
Yeah, I feel like his hair got pooped up a lot in the last. Like,
I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's like
I don't know, forgot to go to the barber or something, but it's looking pretty good.
Who knows? Chris has picked up ace king in small blinds.
okay, we're gonna force
Danny Boxer's picked up nines and a hijack, so we can see this confrontation brewing before it even happens. Expect a raise here from Danny Boxer, and the question really is, does Chris decide to 3-bet this, or does he decide to flat?
like $1,000.
I gotta tell you, I mean, depending on who's opening, I like to play ace king both ways. Sometimes I'll play it really aggressive pre-flop, and sometimes I'll just play it, a little bit slower because I like to keep in it. If I'm playing against
Especially out of
players,
position, yeah.
right? If I'm playing against players who fold ace jack and ace 10 to like 3-bet, I actually tend not to 3-bet as much.
That makes
so I want to
sense.
keep those hands in.
Yeah. And it also disguises your hand a lot. Like a lot of people are like, well, you can't have ace king here because
he
you
didn't
didn't 3-bet.
Right.
And so you can definitely take advantage of people who are assuming that.
Well, we had a little bit of a hiccup in the matrix. Earl did not allow to happen what we thought would happen because he 3-bet. Now Chris called, and there's a 9.
Wow.
So we got a queen 9-6 board. So we got a pair of 6s for Earl, who actually was the 3-better. Boxer was the opener. He flopped middle set.
And Chris with the worst hand here.
Yeah,
and
Chris
might
has
just
gotta
get
hate
away
this.
cheap. Might get away cheap. Just okay. I missed against. I mean, Earl the Barreler and Danny Boxer, who has not really been folding.
Yeah, Chris's hands. Are you ever 4-betting? I know in tournaments you are 4-betting that. But when you get a late position, Danny Boxer, who's an active player, when you get a late position raise,
It was the guy.
and then a 3-bet from a guy like Earl,
Yeah.
He only had like a couple lines.
there aren't going to be that many flops I
Gladly
love.
repeated the lines at the
Yeah.
poker table.
I mean, I'm only going to flop an ace or a king 1 out of 3 times. I feel like
So Billy Crystal's
I feel like that's kind of. I mean, I know I can see the cards, but I feel like that's a situation based on these two opponents.
Yeah.
That's a 4-bet spot.
Yeah, and it depends. Like, I was saying the Earl factor. If you're so sure that if you 4-bet there, Earl's not going to go away.
It's fine. I'm fine with that. I'm getting value from worse then. I mean, if he's 3-betting with Jack 6 suited, and I can 4-bet with Ace King,
Right.
and get Ace Kings and get Jack 6 to call,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm nailed.
Yeah.
No,
The problem is, as long as you're not afraid of the post flop pressure that Earl's going to put on, because he's not going to just fold
Right.
to 1 c-bet. So that's
right. I mean, hey, if you're
That
not,
could, that could be going through his mind. Maybe he just wants to play a little pot control, and I think we'll see people do that a lot against Earl in particular.
would you ever fold? Let me ask you this then: would you ever just fold it then? I mean, if you're not comfortable playing post flop, why are you calling? $120 out of the small blind. I'm not suggesting that I would fold there. I'm just saying, if you're not comfortable 4-betting, I just feel like when you call, you're gonna get outplayed so often.
Yeah.
And when you hit the flop, how often are you actually gonna? I mean, let's say they actually have legit hands. Let's say Danny Boxer opened with 9s and Earl 3-bet with queens or jacks.
Yeah.
And you call with Ace King. The flop comes out Ace 4-4. Are you really gonna? I mean,
Right.
when you
You're not
when
gonna
you
get much.
right, when you cold call a 3-bet,
Right.
your hand is kind of face up-ish. It's like
Right.
either a big ace or maybe like 9s, 10s, jacks.
Yeah. Medium pair or something. Big flop for Chris.
Yeah, he's gonna win this hand. You at least assume he's going to.
Thing. Yeah. He's got the button here. Earl's gonna give it up.
Chris has got that clean-cut American look going on.
Oh yeah.
So Kyle got in through hours. Harlan got in through hours. Peter, been a fixture at the highest stakes no limit games in the Sacramento area for many years. I like it. Good mix.
Yeah, pretty solid lineup tonight. It'll be interesting to see who makes it through to that final table $10,000 satellite.
Kono Kimo
Yeah, I think there's a
says,
question here.
asks question says, hey, is it better to transition from live tournaments to live cash in the long run? I feel like I play good, we'll say I play well, but tournaments get to a spot where you don't have many options. I mean, it depends what your motivation is, I think. I mean, if your motivation is to make money or your motivation to have fun, at the end of the day, it really depends on what you love and what your passion is. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I think if you just want to make money, cash games are going to be far more lucrative
Yeah, for sure.
than tournaments.
I mean, it's a fact that tournament poker there's a ton more variance, you know. So if you're looking to like build your bankroll or something, cash games is probably the way to go. But if you're just doing it for fun on the side and you enjoy tournaments, then play tournaments.
Right. I mean, that's the question always. It's like what's your motivation? If you're just, you know, if you want to play a few times a month and have a good time, then do what you enjoy. You know, who cares what's positive EV? At the end of the day, you know, if you've got a job and you're coming down here and you're playing poker for fun, do what makes you happy. Danny Boxer now at 4,600. We started the stream, he had 3,200, so he's been crushing it. We are on to our next voting period, which is the most action player, right?
That's right.
Yeah, voting for the biggest action player who gambles the most. Who is that, guys? Obviously, Earl is in the category. Danny Boxer's in there. Azan has got to be considered part of it.
Yeah, even Matt H too. We haven't seen him bluff too much tonight, but he's definitely capable.
Yeah. I didn't recognize him at first as well. I played with Matt H as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Sac Reg.
yeah.
Sacktown Reg.
It's a local staple.
Yeah. I'm starting to. The more I come up to Sacramento, the more I'm starting to kind of like get here. Look at this big 3-bet here by Matt.
Oh, wow.
3-bets out of the small blind to 185. And in all likelihood, this will get through. We'll see if Casey decides to call. Casey's just not deep enough to call this thing. And he's going to let it go.
Yeah.
Good pickup there as he picks up some dead money.
We're voting for most action player, so Matt's.
Right.
I think Matt's trying to get in there.
The more time I spend in Sacramento, the more I'm realizing there's really not much in Sacramento. Short of, you know, you can visit Folsom Prison.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Close.
Pretty cool spot. You can come here to Stones, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But the attraction of Sacramento, besides the prison and of course this lovely gambling hall,
it's also the capital.
You're so close. Oh, okay, whatever.
Whatever.
Listen, I'm from New York. The capital of New York is Albany. It's like the armpit.
Where's that?
Yeah. But I was going to say, the nice thing is you are really close to a bunch of cool stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Lake Tahoe, Napa.
Wine country.
Yeah.
The coast.
Yeah.
It's over there.
I'm not dogging. Hey, Poker Pro Eric saying that I'm dogging Sac. I'm not dogging.
No, he loves Sac.
I am merely stating the obvious. There's not much here, guys. You know, but you got a couple.
Although there is I mean, I've heard that there's a decent nightlife like downtown Sac.
That could be true.
Some nice like hipster spots.
I have not enjoyed those yet. I'm hoping maybe somebody can take me out on the night, and I can go out and have a good time. I think being close to some really cool things and having a poker room and a prison nearby is enough.
What more could you want, you know?
Please.
All right, so Earl opens it up to 50 with Ace King offsuit, a real hand. I don't think he knows how to play these kind of games.
Chris has 3-bet this, and this is interesting. So Chris decides not to 3-bet the Ace King,
right, against the Jack 6.
And Earl's like, wait,
not
what do I do
that he
here?
knew what he had, but yeah. So Chris taking a stand maybe at the wrong time.
Well, not necessarily.
Oh wow, and Earl
just
calls. Yeah. Maybe
Earl kind of under-repping his hand a little bit. I thought he might 4-bet here.
I think he's just giving Chris some credit. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he is giving Chris credit.
He hasn't seen him do much tonight. Yeah, Chris is just gonna continue there and take it down. Yeah, I think Earl's giving Chris a lot of credit because we haven't seen him 3-bet. We just saw him choose to flat with Ace King.
Right. Although Earl doesn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't know that yet. Yeah.
D Wolf 47 says, "How do you fold Ace King for 100 pre-flop?" Keep in mind, just because I asked Valerie the question doesn't mean I'm actually advocating that you would fold Ace King. I'm just trying to throw questions out there. To me, poker is never like black and white, like shades of gray, and I don't think there's necessarily ever a definitive answer.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's worth examining, like, okay, would you 4-bet in this spot? Okay, would you ever fold in this spot? Calling and then just folding when you miss your ace or your king seems bad.
Yeah.
So,
and if that's your plan, maybe you should consider folding it.
Right. I mean, you're only in there for $5.
Yeah.
So call 115 and then just fold 2 out of 3 times.
Right.
And not really make much money when you hit your flop.
Yeah. I mean, depending on your opponents, obviously, but if you're not willing to just check call on a lot of flops, then you can at least consider it.
Right.
You have to have all the options in your arsenal. All right, Casey with kings here. Opens to 35, and Matt's going to 3-bet him again. We just saw him do this. So Matt 3-bets to 110 with 10-jack offsuit. Don't think Casey's going to be folding. He's considering 4-betting. So 4-betting or flatting.
Now this is another thing. See, I think a lot of players get into this robotic, I've got to play my cards type situation with ace king.
Right.
And this is a situation where 4-betting is not bad.
Yeah.
But I think some of the time, if you're always 4-betting that and you don't have a 4-bet bluff range,
right, exactly.
Then you put yourself in a spot where your opponent always knows you've got aces, kings, or ace-king suited.
Right, and you kind of turn your hand face up. And, if you're willing to flat here with kings and maybe, medium suited connectors, if you can balance your range like that, it's going to be harder for your opponents to play against you.
Right. And Matt is Hollywooding here, but he's going to fold. We know that.
Yeah, especially against Matt, because he's, Matt is not the one who's going to call a 3-bet light. Or that was a 4-bet. But against Earl in the same spot, Earl's probably going to call there with 7-8 suited. And if he's going to call with those kinds of hands, then it's very profitable to put in the 4-bet. But against Matt H, I just feel like Matt H is going to be folding, most hands that are worse than kings.
And I'm starting to get this kind of inkling in it, and I don't necessarily like to put things out there that I don't know, but I've now seen Matt H 3-bet, or I've seen 3-bet Casey twice.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering if he's trying to ISO him. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know these players enough to know that. But when somebody,
I think he's just trying to win the most action category.
That could be the case too, right? There's a bunch of dynamics going on. But going off what you're saying, if your 4-bet range is just aces, kings, maybe queens or ace king suited, I'm not sure you should be 4-betting against anybody who's a thinking player, because they're just not going to give you action.
Yeah.
Against players who aren't really thinking, who will stick their money in no matter what, go ahead and 4-bet, do what you want. But I feel like you have to be a little bit balanced there against good players.
Yeah, I agree. And that might be another reason why Casey decided to 4-bet instead of flat, just because Matt just 3-bet him, so it could look like he's getting annoyed, and you know what I mean.
100%, yeah.
Against Matt, though, Matt doesn't rattle. He's
a pro.
He's not emotional. Yeah. So
the fact that Casey only had $1,100 behind, makes me even more inclined to just flat with kings.
Yeah, definitely.
You're just not
and
that
let
deep.
Matt.
Well, yeah, you're going to get into the straight out of that.
Bluff, yeah.
Your SPR, and that's when I say SPR, it's a stack to pot ratio. How much is in your stack compared to the pot? When your stack to pot ratio is very high, it can put you in a much tougher spot post flop. When your SPR is low, there's just not as much play. So once the 3-bet is there,
right,
and his SPR is not as high anymore.
Yeah, and it's.
Frankly, he can on a lot of flops, he is going to be able to just check raise and be happy to get it.
Right. Yeah, and
will he occasionally get outplayed with a flop coming out? Sometimes ace 5 deuce.
Sure.
He's going to hate it. Yes, that happens.
But I'm good looking.
But yeah, I think especially against Matt. Matt's aware of the stack sizes and everything.
Is there a way to do it by rotary phone?
I like Callie Donks in the house. What's up, my man? King M.
There we go. We got one vote.
Plastica.
What's up, Plastica? Waprai asks if I'm going for a PhD. Yes, I am working on my doctorate in language education.
Really?
Yes.
And offer him $1 each or something.
Yeah. My dad told me I had to finish my PhD so I could write a poker book.
Makes sense.
I respected his opinion.
Right. You had to You had to demonstrate that you have the highest education to teach to the lowest common denominator.
Something like that.
Right, I understand. Makes sense. It actually makes sense.
I just hope no one asks, like, what is your PhD in?
Right.
Just call me Dr. Val.
35.
Kyle limped in. Now, this is not a straddle pot. Kyle limped into the gun with Jack 10.
Re-raise, so 110.
Danny limps. Oh, Danny raises it up to 35 with King Queen offsuit.
There are games, and you get a 3-bet here from Earl. There
Yeah.
are games where I think it's correct to limp in an early position. I don't think this is that game.
Yeah,
Because you're just not going to see the flop.
Right.
How often is it going to get through Danny Boxer and Earl and Azan?
Right.
And you're going to see a flop, and look at this. He would have flopped
Wow.
top too.
Wow.
If I'm going to play Jack 10 offsuit, and I'm probably not going to,
Come in for a raise.
I'm going to come in for a raise.
Yeah.
Because it just, you're,
But then
you're
at the
gonna
same
be,
time, you're like, okay, I'm going to come in for a raise, but then I have to fold to a 3-bet.
Well, and then of course,
But that's
listen.
fine.
You can
It's better
occasionally,
than-
and you can occasionally 4-bet.
Yeah.
You know, not very often, but occasionally. I mean, if you're not coming in for a raise that often with Jack 10,
Yeah.
then
Right.
people will give you some credit. Remember, you opened under the gun.
Right.
You think at least they give you some credit. And look at this,
You
just
would
more
think.
so.
Interesting turn card. Jack of Hearts.
I'd love to see Kyle's face right now.
Was it Kyle that had the 10 Jack?
Yeah.
So Kyle would have a full house. Danny Boxer's still open-ended. And Earl picks up the second nut flush draw. So Brooklyn Dan checks it over. And Earl is going to fire out here. Put the pressure on.
I'm kind of surprised that Danny Boxer relinquished control in this hand, and because of that, he's going to lose it.
Yeah, and I think, maybe he continues against a different player.
Right.
But with Earl in position against you,
It's tough.
he's hoping that Earl just checks back, but I don't know how often Earl's going to be checking back there.
Player on your left. It's tough to have a player on your left. I actually
Yeah.
think Earl has the best seat at this table because he's got some action. He's got Azan, and he's got Danny on his right,
Yeah.
and he's got Matt H kind of across the table.
Yeah, and
So
the
he
two to
doesn't-
his left haven't been very active.
Right.
Chris and Kyle.
Once again, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to limp in occasionally in early
Yeah.
position, and I think there are certain games where it makes a lot of sense to do that. I just don't think it's this game.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and in a lot of games you can get away with that a lot and see a lot of cheap flops.
And still get paid off the tilt.
Yeah, exactly.
13 minutes left in the biggest action player who gambles the most. Get your votes in, guys. Nightbot has been putting it in there. You guys just click on that link. 1 vote per IP address per voting period. Our next section is the most skilled player.
Nice. What do you guys think? Most skilled player? That's a tough one in this table.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I won't say what I think yet.
Okay. We'll say it at the end after you guys vote.
Right. I mean, influence.
There's a lot of solid players.
Kyle's
though.
3-bet this to 110.
Trying to teach you a lesson.
All right. Gay Corpse in the house. What's up, Gay Corpse? He's giving you a shout out.
Hey, what's up, my man? Or my lady?
Yeah, I think it's a dude.
I don't know if it's a dude or not. I'm gonna assume it's a dude.
Gay Corpse.
If I come out and say what's up, my man, and you're a girl, don't take it personally.
That's so rude.
I don't know.
Poker Pro Eric is a girl. I'm just kidding. I like to needle Poker Pro Eric.
Skeeter says, has there been a 3-bet to anything other than 110? There has
Skeeter,
actually.
what's up?
Matt H 3-bet to 185 earlier.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was after a straddle, no?
Yeah, Matt H actually 3-bet to 75.
Yeah.
So, and
110
180.
is
So they're good.
So Skeeter, if I'm not mistaken, is actually in the single table satellite for the 10KC. He got through last in
Got through
the
it.
PLO.
So
Yeah.
he's just in here just
So
to like
he's-
make money.
He's trolling. I'm just kidding. He's studying his opponents.
Good for him. Congratulations, Skeeter.
Yeah. So Azan.
Yeah, Zahn opens here and gets called in. This one's going to call here out of the small blind.
With 2 overs.
and hit both of them.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's not
Azan
money, it's
open-ended.
both. Yeah, Azan is
And in
open-ended.
position. Yeah, I was going to say, if Casey checks, I feel like Azan's going to check back here.
And Azan does check back.
Decent turn for Casey. Fills up. Trap fail.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the bet on the turn. I don't hate the check on the turn. I mean, I don't think Azan has many kings, obviously, when he checks back. But I do think Azan occasionally will have a hand like with a queen in it,
Yeah.
or check back because he has showdown value. Type
And he
thing.
does actually make the call on the river. Casey probably wasn't getting too straight to value anyway, so it doesn't really matter. He bets the turn or the river. And, you know, I think sometimes Azan might try to bluff the turn, so also not a terrible turn check. It looks like Casey doesn't have much.
If Azan had like ace queen there, he might actually check flop that turn.
Bet turn for value, yeah.
Water polo. Play competitive water polo when you're younger, or no?
Bigger bread box says, tomorrow I got a free roll for the main event seat. Anyone want to buy a piece cheap? Andrew Barber? Andrew Barber, he buys up everybody's pieces, so go ahead.
Nice.
All for it.
Tree fitty. Alright. Nope, you can't vote for least skilled player, but we appreciate your suggestions, Eric.
I still wanted to add another category to this, which was player most likely to go deep in the main event. Which I think is not necessarily
I feel
the
like
most skilled player.
maybe he tried to work that in here somewhere, but yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I think that's a good point.
Maybe he thought all of them were kind of encompassing into
Yeah,
player who
like
might go the deepest.
Thinking about some different qualities, I guess.
Right. Chris raises to 35. Kyle has 3 bets. So
To 115, not 110.
now we've seen Kyle 3 bet twice in the last, say, 5 or 6 hands. Once
Yeah,
with 8, 7
that's true.
small blind. This time with ace 3 of diamonds out of the cutoff. And he's going to punish Chris on his left. Azan's got jacks. This is you know, I've watched a bunch of 510 footage over here at Stones Live. If you guys haven't, you guys can check it all out at Twitch. Twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker. They have all their stuff archived, some good stuff. This is not an easy table. It's a fun table.
Yeah.
Not an easy table. A lot
Not
of 3 betting
easy.
going on.
Yeah.
Some really good players.
A lot
and
of high level poker.
Azan
yeah.
3 bets with a hand that's I'm sorry, Azan 4 bets with jacks.
Yeah, and I think he's 4-betting there, and if Kyle 5-bet, I think he just folds.
Which is, let me ask you this then: do you like the 4 bet? Because the 4 bet's kind of interesting. Okay, is he ever getting a hand better than jacks to fold? Is he getting queens to fold?
I mean, probably not. Yeah,
And he gets almost everything worse than him to fold.
right.
Now, does he ever, by 4 betting, I don't know Kyle well enough, and I don't know Kyle and Azan's relationship well enough.
Yeah.
Does he ever
Justin, are you
get
over there?
Kyle to spew 5-bet bluff?
I don't think so.
Does Kyle ever call with worse?
I don't think so. Therefore,
Do you like the 4-bet? And by the way, I say this with the preface, I actually love Azan's game. I really like Azan's game.
Yeah, totally.
I think he's a good player.
But
right?
yeah, I mean, based on this logic that you just made us think about, like I don't think it makes that much sense to 4-bet there.
You're kind of turning jacks into a bluff.
Yeah, and why not just flat and
Now, he does depolarize his 4-bet range
yeah,
by doing that with jacks.
right. That's true.
But
But yeah, I mean, against Kyle, I just feel like either Kyle, comes over the top and Azan just folds, or Kyle folds worse. So,
right.
yeah.
You can just hand his cash out of your pocket.
But yeah, Kyle has a relatively tight image, so that actually kind of surprised me that Azan 4-bet with Jackson.
Maybe there's a read he picks
Yeah,
something up.
he realized that Kyle's capable of putting pressure on Chris there. That Chris didn't look too strong.
Pair of aces here for Peter. And you can see from the percentages on the left side of your screen, he is an overwhelming favorite, 84% to win this hand. If it goes to showdown. Only one overcard to Kyle's 9s, but it's the ultimate overcard.
Yeah, no one has much. I don't think Kyle's going to go crazy with 9s, although
Well, he might go crazy now.
still a 5-way flop, though.
Yeah, good point.
Especially in a 5-way flop, someone's more likely to check a weak ace.
And Peter really hasn't done much. You mentioned that Peter's a pretty tight player. When Peter bets 135,
Yeah, people are going to give him credit.
let's see if Kyle calls once.
I don't see Kyle calling, but he could surprise me. He's rocking the Nirvana shirt.
Yeah,
He's capable of anything. He's got the hair.
You're a Nirvana fan?
Yeah. I miss grunge. Bring it back.
You think people like him better after?
I don't know.
You know, some. I mean, I don't want to suggest that he does call one
Oh,
straight.
he
By
did
the way,
call.
he did call. If you're Peter,
You
you're.
win.
Oh, no,
No, I'm just
I was actually asking you. I didn't know. You know, it's funny.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
just
there are.
hoping it's good here.
You hate to say it, but I think there are situations where actors, musicians become bigger than life after their death.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And some people are like, you know, people are like Joe, the guy who died, he sucked. You love him. Joe was like he was
Yeah,
a
and they,
mediocre drummer at best.
yeah,
What,
they
because he
sell like
died?
1,000 records before they die, and then they sell like a
Millions.
million.
It's like Twinkies,
Oh,
please.
enjoy that money, man.
Okay, when was the last time you had a Twinkie?
It's been a while.
Right. Okay, I'm not gluten free here.
I think the last one was deep fried about 6 years ago.
Like, Twinkies they're not even good. Okay, when Twinkies were like they were talking about Twinkies never coming back, like eliminating Twinkies.
Oh.
Everybody went out. Yeah, everybody out like bought Twinkie boxes. They sucked.
Nice. You guys need marketing ideas. Just threaten to take it away.
Just fake your death. You'll become supremely popular overnight.
Uh-oh. We might have an issue here. Kyle with aces and Brooklyn Dan with kings.
Now, it's going to bode well that Kyle has 3-bet twice in the last 4-bet.
Yeah, that definitely plays in his favor.
Once with ace
That's
3.
the plan. Like 3-bet, 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 then pick up aces. Yeah.
Right. It works out really well when
Nice
you
when
can
it
do
works
that.
out like that.
Now, the fact of the matter is he opened here.
35.
Now, we saw Casey with kings earlier on, 4-bet and lose all his action. Here's the 3-bet from Boxer. Does Kyle 4-bet with aces? And this is one of those where if he knew what his opponent had, yes, he would.
Obviously, yeah.
But if you know Danny Boxer is capable of 3-bet light, would you just flat here everything?
The thing is, I don't really expect Brooklyn Dan to 3-bet white in this spot a lot, and if
Especially out of the big
Kyle's
blind.
thinking that, maybe he does 4-bet because you know, if Brooklyn Dan likes his hand that much, then maybe he wants to call
Sure enough.
4-bet. Plus, you know, like you said, Kyle's been pretty active in the last couple orbits, especially.
Collectively, I'll give away.
And he just had to fold to an Azan 4-bet, so that could be playing into this also.
One of the things that you pointed out that I think is spot on, a lot of players out of the big blind, when they close the action and there's nobody else in the pot,
Yeah.
there just isn't as much motivation to 3-bet light.
Right.
You know, why are you 3-betting light out of the big blind? There's nobody else in the pot. There's no other
Yeah.
dead money in the pot. You close the action.
Yeah.
Why not just see a flop with, you know, hands that play well post flop?
Yeah, I
So,
think
if
the
that-
only one with a wide range would be like Earl, I feel like. I mean, other people are capable of it, but
even him out of the big blind, where there's no dead
yeah,
money in
why
hand.
not just call and, you know, play a flop,
Right.
see a flop.
Out of the small blind on the button, when there's
Yeah.
dead money in there, if a couple people call,
Yeah, it definitely
that
looks a
changes
lot
everything.
stronger in the big blind, yeah. So Jack 9-3, 2 hearts, both players with a heart. Kyle's bigger.
If you don't think Kyle's on 1100 behind. If you don't think Kyle is ever bluffing, and I don't know Kyle well enough to know.
I
there's the
think
other.
Kyle's capable of bluffing.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
it's all gonna go in, and Boxer's got a 2-outer.
yeah. I mean, rough spot for Danny. Do you think, I mean, if you play it like he did pre-flop, do you ever just get away from this flop? Check fold?
The fact that I had the king of hearts in my hand makes
Yeah.
it a little bit less likely my opponent has a heart draw. Because the one hand he might 4-bet me would be ace king of hearts and continue on.
Right.
So now I'm like, I might just call one straight and then see how it plays out. Because if I call 400,
But then what do you do on the turn?
then on the turn, I kind of put my opponent on queens or aces. It's like, if I call 400
Yeah.
and then he has 1100 left, and then Kyle bets like 600 on the turn, I don't think he's doing it with like just ace king still. I don't think he's still bluffing.
Yeah. But like you said, with Kyle's stack size, it's pretty hard to like check call once and then check fold. You kind of, you're almost forced to make a decision on the flop.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend.
You're going to go with it or not.
100%. I'm not going to pretend to be like, wow, this is an easy fold for Danny Boxer.
Yeah,
I think most of the time you should be going broke with kings against aces, and especially in this hand. The way. That said, I'm just saying, if you flat that flop, and then a 6 of spades comes off, and you check the Kyle, and Kyle bets 600. I'll ask the audience and I'll ask you, is Kyle ever double barrel bluffing?
I mean, if he has ace-king and he decides to bet that flop, doesn't he have to just barrel the turn?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he has to.
No, you don't have to do anything.
I mean, you're painting the picture that Kyle decided to 4-bet ace-king
I could see him doing it, but...
Wait, so you're painting the picture that he decided to 4-bet ace-king pre-flop, then bet 400 on the flop. Right. Then, after his opponent called the 400, so Danny Boxer's telling him, I've got a hand.
Yeah.
Then he goes,
queens or kings.
Right. Then I'm going to bomb it one more time. No, I don't think so. I think he probably checks back ace-king.
I don't know. Maybe.
Like, I feel like when he double barrels,
Maybe.
he has worst hand he has his queens, best hand he has queens, kings, or aces, maybe occasionally jacks.
Yeah, but again, I think it just doesn't really go to a turn decision very often.
Right.
Like, Brooklyn Dan pretty much has to make a decision on the flop, and it's just a cooler, I think. Yeah, Poker Pro Eric says Kyle never has queens there. Watch the last 8 streams. But we have seen him bluff on that in that kind of situation in like a 4-bet pot and just barrel the flop. Yeah.
Listen, I have no doubt he could have ace-king. Harlan at the ace-9 has got nothing. Bottom set here for Casey. Unfortunately for him, not much there to get action. Unless Harlan wants to get all PLO on him and use the ace of clubs as a blocker.
Go all PLO.
You're like, hey, I've got the ace of clubs. I can rep.
The thing is, those PLO plays could actually work at this table because everyone's thinking at a pretty high level,
But you know what I mean?
Wait.
I'll put it this way. With the ace of clubs, if you have the ace of clubs in PLO, I can get anybody to fold a smaller flush.
Yeah.
I'm not getting people to fold smaller flushes.
Especially with 2 bets. Right. Not in no limit, yeah. So where you can kind of out-level yourself if you're playing too much PLO and switch to no limit.
I put this out there with Kyle. And like I said, I don't know these guys. I'm just, watching this. I have no doubt that Kyle can 4-bet with ace-king. And I have no doubt that Kyle would put a continuation bet out there with ace-king occasionally.
Yeah, sure.
I just question double bet.
Yeah.
So I question if you can call the 400 and then theoretically fold to a turn. I'm not saying I could. I'm not saying you should.
Yeah, I think
I'm asking.
Definitely more likely if they're super deep, too.
Oh, they're super deep, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're 6,000, I've heard people say, like, I had kings, you had aces, nothing I can do. And I'm like, how deep are you? I'm like, they're playing, like, let's say they're playing 5-10. We were $6,000 deep. We're going, you lost 600 things? I'm like, I think there was something you probably could have done.
Right, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, how did you lose that much? He's like, well, it got 7-bet free, and then he bomb turn, bomb river, bomb flop, bomb turn, bomb river. I'm like, at what point did you think maybe you were beat?
Yeah. I mean, Poker Pro Eric.
What did he say?
Yeah, he didn't 4-bet pre-flop with a huge stack the night he donked off with ace queen. I mean, I'm just saying I feel like he's capable, but I don't know. I mean, I think Kyle can mix it up. We haven't seen him mix it up too much, like 4-betting light and stuff like that, but I don't know. I think it was a bad spot for Dan. And
it usually is a bad spot when you have kings and they have aces. And not the best analyst in the business. Not the best analyst in the business for nothing, okay, guys?
Hey, it's a bad spot when you get it with kings against aces. Write that one down, guys.
Try to avoid
that spot.
Yeah.
But I guess,
I think Peter's going to bluff at this. He doesn't need to. He has king high. It's the best hand. But he's going to bluff at it.
Showdown value, man. King high. No, I guess what I'm trying to say is I think Brooklyn Dan doesn't know Kyle that well. I mean, I don't know how much they've played together and stuff.
Let me ask you this really quick.
Yeah.
And I put this out to everybody at home. My perception of Brooklyn Dan, and I don't know Brooklyn Dan at all, is I don't think Brooklyn Dan is folding queens or kings on that flop. And my question for you is, do you think Kyle thinks Brooklyn Dan is folding kings or queens?
Probably not, especially because we've seen him make a lot of big calls.
So if Kyle doesn't think he's folding kings or queens, how often is he double barreling?
Yeah, why would he be bluffing? Right. Yeah.
I'll tell you, this water and the beer that I had before has gone right through me. I'll be back in 1 minute and 21 seconds. Don't forget to vote, guys.
That's a pretty exact number. Somebody start the timer. I might have to go after him. We are barreling the waters pretty hard here. All right. 6, 7, 8, 2 clubs. Pretty good flop for Matt. He's got the backdoor spades, open-ended, also drawing to the nut straight here. Chris can't love the his 10 jack of hearts on this flop, but he does have a gut shot.
Yeah, but I have
Looking for a red 9. Wow, so Chris gonna put in a raise here. Pretty good spot to rep something on this board. And the check raise looks pretty strong. You know, Chris has been playing so snug. I think he gets credit for this, and he's definitely aware of that.
just played more hands. I would have won. I had a lot.
What's up, Jimmy Bluffett?
Yeah, my pay's better.
All right, we're voting for the fourth category now. Voting for the most skilled player. Most skilled player.
I heard you talked about it. You played a lot of big personalities.
Get your votes in. Bigger bread box. I hope he washes his hands.
Yeah.
I'm always suspicious when guys come back to like the tournament table and after being gone for like 1 minute. You know, we're all sharing those chips, so that's so rude. Just wash your hands. It takes like 10 seconds. All right, Earl with a couple jacks here. Raises it up to 50. They want to know if you washed your hands.
I did. Feel them, they're wet.
I don't want to feel them or smell them.
There they are, look.
Not falling for that.
See?
Now they're not clean.
I wouldn't like them otherwise. I'm always disgusted by when you go to the casino and you see somebody like
I was just saying
not
that.
wash their hands and you're just like, dude, you come on, you handle chips. Really?
No, I was saying I'm always suspicious when a guy leaves the tournament table and comes back.
Super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, dude.
Dude, we have to share these chips.
What was that? That was at 8:30. Kings versus aces.
Yes.
Since we missed other hands, there were other good hands, weren't there? Actually, this entire show has been good. I can just say like every hand is good.
Just watch it. Just watch the whole thing.
Yeah, no, this is some fantastic of it. So Kyle now with the most chips. Danny Boxer at 2,500.
All right, Poker Pro Eric. So he says Kyle knows that Dan has jacks, queens, or kings. So he either has an overpair or a set. Right? That's what you're telling me. Does he play a set of jacks the same way?
Poker for Eric?
No,
Kyle.
does Dan play a set of jacks if the action was the same with pair of jacks and he flopped a set?
Oh, I think he might.
He check calls and then
Yeah, 'cause I think-
checks turn.
I think he might. I think he might. I don't know. I don't know the player
I
well
think
enough.
at that point though, you know,
If you put your opponent on an overpair, there's really like why not just get it in?
or
before-
jacks.
You don't want
like,
another heart
it's
to
just
come off
gonna
and
go
kill your
in
action.
anyway. Yeah. So
Well, the only thing that could kill your action is if, let's say, you check call and then the turn is like the king of hearts, and suddenly like your opponent's scared of queens theoretically.
Yeah.
So Peter's raised to 45, Earl calls 45, Chris is called as well, Valerie Cross, David Tuckman are here.
Wow.
That is a set of threes.
That is a flop.
So bottom set here for Chris. Actually, that's not bottom set. You always think when you have threes, bottom set. It's not.
Seems
My
like
apologies.
it should be.
Right.
Middle set of threes.
You are watching the Stones Live Survivor Series, guys, and every Saturday through June 18th, this is the place to be. Twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker.
Now, if you're Peter, do you call once here? I mean, he has Earl behind him. 3-way pot, 2 spades. He doesn't even have a spade. Yeah, and he's, like I said,
Well, frankly, I mean, Peter was the raiser, right?
Yes.
I think it's a
Just
little.
C-bet and see.
Well, I think it's a little weak to just check fold.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think Peter is definitely on the tight side. Maybe with Earl behind him. And everyone's giving Chris credit now because he did just kind of chill for an hour.
Right, I understand.
Oh, and he just check raised.
I missed the check raise.
Yeah.
I guess my thought process is, though, I mean, if you're playing against a guy like Peter, if I'm trying to exploit somebody's weakness, and I'm seeing him play, I can basically call him. I'd almost never 3-bet him. I would just call him in position, knowing that he's going to check fold to me way too often.
Yeah.
I don't need to make the best hand to win the pot against him.
Yeah, you can put pressure on post-flop in position,
I mean, I can, rather than ever really 3-betting, why not just...
Yeah, more efficient betting there.
See, a lot of people are saying you can't call the flop with the kings because it'll get it on the turn. It'll only get it on the turn if Kyle bets and you call.
Yeah, because Kyle. Kyle
always
could
gonna
be
go
betting
in.
the flop and then check back the turn, and then you know your kings are good.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of things there.
Possible.
I don't know. I come from the school where I don't think just because, like, a lot of guys are like, well, you can't just call here. But if you call the turn, you got to go on the river. No.
Yeah, I mean, you have to consider all of your options. It's like you said, everything's on a range, and there's so many factors to consider. So you can't just rule something out, I think.
Harlan with a 9-8, flops open-ended. Azan with a gutter, best hand right now with the ace-queen. Harlan, by the way, 3-bet this. I mean, we are like, is somebody at home keeping track of how many hands we're in? Let's just say, up top of our head, we are maybe 35 hands in.
Yeah, something like
Somewhere
that.
in that range?
Yeah.
We've seen 20 of which have been
20
3-bet.
good hands?
20 of which have been 3-bet.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every hand is 3-bet.
This table's pretty sick. Just like a lot of high-level poker going on. Shark Tank.
Yeah, so Azan opened, Harlan 3-bet.
Wow.
Harlan check.
With 8-9 off.
Azan actually leads out now.
So the Harlan checked back the flop.
Yes, which is kind of weird to me.
A little bit. I mean, it's a pretty good flop for him.
Yeah, not only is it's a good flop, but just it's one thing to 3-bet with 9-8, but the problem is when you check that back, 9-high can't win. It has no showdown value.
Yeah.
You're hoping to make your hand. And now Azan hits his ace, and
He's gonna lead again.
yeah, I'm kind of surprised because I feel like Harlan has ace king here a ton.
Yeah.
Like if
True.
you didn't see the cards, Harlan 3-bet pre.
Or he has a worse hand that might bluff, like misdraw, or
Right, I guess
you know what I mean?
Right, my thought process though is this. Okay, the board is Harlan 3-bet pre.
yes,
The board is Jack 10-5 with 2 hearts.
checks back.
When he checks back, I wouldn't normally put him on 9-8.
Right.
If he had a heart draw that did not include the ace, I would have thought he would bet.
Yeah.
I actually think a lot of times he's going to have ace king.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. I don't know. It was a weird hand.
No, I think you're right, and also the fact that maybe Harlan bets. I don't know. Maybe Azan's putting him on like a 10 or a jack, and that's why Azan's putting Harlan on a 10 or a jack.
But Harlan 3-bet. So what did he 3-bet with then?
I mean, he threw an 8-9 offsuit. So I guess
We
he can
know
have queen 10 suited, or no, you know what I mean.
100%.
I'm saying I guess his range is pretty wide.
Right, now that we saw him 3-bet with 8-9, and maybe Azan knew this and everybody at home knows this too.
Probably not.
And I'm the only fool, which is completely possible.
No, you're right. Like,
I'm just wondering,
ace
it's like-
king probably makes the most sense.
Well, I'm just wondering if you check
Or
back.
9s or 8s or something like that.
Okay, but I guess my point is, like, if you check back a jack,
Yeah.
what would the jack be with?
Right.
Weird spot.
Weird spot.
Nonetheless, though, this has been a fun night. I mean, we are flying by. I can't believe
Oh my
it.
gosh. Super good game.
Yeah, Valerie Cross, David Tuckman here.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. What she said. Keep in mind, guys, 5.5 PLO every second Monday of the month.
Oh yeah.
You can buy it everywhere up to $1,500. Broadcast is at 7 p.m. Every third Wednesday, we've got Veronica and Friends. Every Monday and Wednesday, they've got live streams on, you have cash games. And then, of course, Saturdays all the way through mid-June will be the Survivor Series.
Yeah, next Saturday we got the 8-6 Omaha High-Low split game. So
You
get
play
your
already?
bios in. Not really, a little bit. Yeah, for PLO.
And then Event 7 from this thing, May 28th. A huge amount of outpouring. Everybody wanted to play in this one.
Oh yeah, the 1-2 no limit. Yeah, should be good.
So Chris is raised. Clubs are cheap. So Chris raises. Kyle calls. Peter picks up aces, and unfortunately for Peter, now this 3-bet out of the big blind, different in a sense. First of all, you've got a little bit of dead money in there, but again, it's a 3-bet out of the big blind.
Yeah,
Which to me always kind of means somebody's got something strong.
pretty strong. Yeah,
Right.
especially Peter.
Yeah. Azam, by the way, called as well, so there's even more dead money in the pot. What are you sizing it if you're Peter?
I mean, what was it? 30?
35. 35 call, 30 call, and then...
Yeah. Yeah, probably like 120.
Nobody's gonna get an action.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it could look like a squeeze spot with the dead money in there, but I think everyone's just gonna give him credit, especially with the exact hands that they had. All right, my turn.
Run. Once again, Valerie Cross, David Tuckman here for you guys. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with us. If you have any questions, you can always tweet me at Tuck on Sports. You can also ask in the chat room. I am following the chat room as Valerie is as well. But this has been a great game. If you've missed it, you can watch the replay after the fact. A lot of fun. We're playing 5-10. The $20 straddle has been kind of sporadic. It was in earlier on, but it has been in and out. Earl is straddling here, though. Might see Danny Boxer raise out of the big blind, though. We'll see.
Find out what it is. I haven't asked
If it gets to him.
I'll look at it later.
Can't see Peter's hand. Peter wearing the Under Armour shirt. Danny Boxer on his left. And he is going to put a raise in there. Makes it $85. Earl doesn't like to follow the straddle, I can tell you that much. And he's going to call. What's up, Jimmy Bluffett? How are you, my man? There's the ace. See if Boxer decides to check this. He does. Earl just not taking the bait. It's kind of funny, but against a thinking player like Earl, I feel like you're actually more likely to get action from him if you bet. When you check it after raising pre, sometimes that can look like you've got showdown value. Like you're trying to I want to roll a bet.
No, I didn't like the game. My buddy Harlan wasn't here. Just had Matt over there. That's what he liked me on.
What's up, babyface Atlanta? No competition, man. More poker is good. As far as I'm concerned, there can't be enough poker.
Yeah.
Whether it's, no matter what it is, whether it's Poker Night in America, whether it's the World Series poker, whether it's Stones Live, whether it's Live at the Bike, poker is good. There's Kyle on seat number 2 in the Nirvana shirt. On your left of your screen is Chris. He's in seat 1. White chips you see are $100, green chips are $25, and the orange chips are $5 each.
Nick's also the one that told him I'm the spot in the game, so that's why he's trying to chase me.
Once again, a straddled pot. Matt's going to raise. See what Azan does with ace queen. So Matt raises with ace jack and the hijack. Pretty standard. And Azan just calls. And action is going to be between these two pros, Matt and Azan. I think both players respect each other's game. Look at that fancy flop. Nice work there by Bob. Flop of King, Jack, 5. So Matt's out-flopped him. Azan does have the ace of hearts in his hand. A 10 would give him the nuts. There's a bet of 105 by Matt and a call. Turns the queen of hearts. That's another one, of course. Big card for Azan, because not only does he vault ahead of Matt, but he also has the ace of hearts in his hand, and expect Azan to probably check this back.
Matt cannot be crazy about that turn.
Azan's going to bet it. He's got the best hand here so often.
Plus, he's been playing PLO, so he's thinking about that blocker.
Yeah, I don't know if he's getting a king to fold, but
Yeah.
Azan now back up to $2,100. Kyle pacing the field though, courtesy of those aces versus kings.
Yeah.
He's had the best of it.
Nice double up for Kyle.
Gallery cross back in the box.
What's up, guys? Hope you're enjoying this action 5-10 game.
You know, I was commenting to Valerie before about her last name, and what a cool last name it was.
Thank you.
There are some people out there. I've had a friend named Ross Bone, and I was like, man, I want to be that. I want to be Mr. Bone. You know, my wife's last name is Bearer, and I was always hoping it was Bear, because if it was, I would have totally taken her last name. It would have been Mr. Bear. But yours is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Cross.
did make that suggestion to my husband, but he didn't take the bait.
Yeah, he dropped the ball there.
Yeah.
Because he could have been Mr. Cross.
We could have been so progressive.
Yeah. Really.
Come on, guys.
I mean, you live in California.
Right?
Your husband's a musician. I don't know why. Why not?
Yeah, I mean.
That's right, Survivor Series, April 16th all the way to June 18th. A lot going on here at Stones. Pretty exciting, I gotta tell you. The team here, Justin, all the floor staff, the tournament, the dealers, they do a good job.
Oh yeah, it's a great place. Get down here if you haven't.
Another set here.
Wow, Casey with bottom set, checks around.
Yeah, and that's the kind of board where, I mean, Casey probably checked to the razor in Danny Boxer spot, but
Yeah.
kind of spot where I'm actually not checking very often. I don't want to slow play, simply because it's with the ace out there.
Yeah.
What card is going to come off that's going to suddenly be like, my opponent's going to be like, oh, now I've got the nuts.
Yeah, plus there's a good chance that someone has an ace in that spot, and they might even raise you when you donk bet.
Yeah, I mean, again, when I go back to slow playing, I feel like if you're slow playing, you want your opponent to have a strong chance of making a second best hand.
Are you sandbagging for the last slide?
Or you're inducing a bluff. And on an ace queen deuce rainbow board, what card is going to come off that's suddenly going to give your opponent this amazing second best hand?
Yeah. Do you think he was going for a check raise there? Like
I would assume so.
Continues?
I would assume that was the case, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I thought he was actually in position,
Yeah.
but the fact that he was checking to the razor makes it a little bit more standard.
Looks like Casey's going to raise it up to 30 with ace-7 suited. Is that a straddle? Chris put on a straddle? No, sorry. It's 5-10. Never mind. Just kidding. Chris in the big line.
We haven't heard a ton from Casey. Played a few hands here and there. Top pair for Matt.
Wow. Peter with bottom set.
Yeah, I feel like deuces and threes are just
Yeah.
like, you have a deuce or
Drilling it, right?
Yeah.
Harlan with the only spade, 10 of spades. And
Well, Matt's going to bet with top
yeah,
pair,
Casey checks.
drawing nearly dead.
1%.
Peter just called. I kind of like just calling there. I don't mind it. I think a lot of players overplay bottom set in these situations to quote-unquote protect their hand, rather than actually playing their hand to maximize the value.
Right, and I mean, what's going to call if you raise this flop?
You're only getting like a queen that has a big spade. Like you'd get king queen that has the king of spades, or ace queen that has the ace of spades.
Exactly.
And you're going to get value from those hands anyway.
So board runs out pretty dry. 4 and a 7 of clubs.
I mean, I might have raised a turn depending on who my opponent was. But I don't mind just calling the flop.
Wow. Matt's going to bet
Matt's going for he's going for super thin value. He's trying to get value from his hand.
And the way Peter played it, it looks like Peter had like an ace of spade type hand.
Or a weaker queen. I mean, frankly, you know what? Against Matt, who's a pro, the best way to get value from Matt is actually let him value on himself.
Right.
Because if Peter had raised on any other street, I think Matt probably folds.
Yeah.
Now the question
Hold
is,
on, Peter's not going to fold though, right?
No, he can't. If he folds, then it's catastrophe. I mean, he's getting 3-1, and you have to realize that Matt's a good enough player to value bet worse.
Yeah.
You can't fold. My question to you was, would you ever raise? Against a good player, can you get value from worse if you raise this?
I think not.
No, okay.
I wouldn't.
With bottom set, no.
I wouldn't raise Matt in this spot.
There aren't many two-pair combinations either.
Because so much of his range here, betting 3 times into Peter, has 2 spades. You know, is a flop flush.
Or set. King
If
Queen.
he has a set, it's a better
This is
set.
probably the worst hand he's ever three
Worst
betting.
possible hand he's betting this river. Like I think Peter's considering folding.
That would be. Peter. I love your shirt, man. You look like a great guy. That would be awful. You can't
I
fold
think
this.
he's folding.
You can't fold this. You can't fold this. Oh my god. Oh my god. You can't fold this.
You gotta know your players, man.
You can't fold that. I mean, there's no way Matt thought he was bluffing, by the way. There's no way Matt thought he was bluffing. I agree with you. I think raising there against Matt, specifically Matt, would have been, because I don't think you can get called by even aces. Let's say Matt had aces. I don't think you're getting called by aces.
Yeah.
And I don't think I don't think there are enough two-pair combinations to get called by worse.
Matt's like, I had you. I had king queen.
Seriously,
No, I don't know, but
like he's tapping the table, like nice laydown, man.
yeah,
Nice laydown.
nice fold. I had king queen.
He probably thinks
Peter's
Peter probably thinks he laid down like Matt probably thinks Peter laid down like queen jack with a jack of spades.
Yeah. I would love to hear Matt's thought process on that one actually, but
He was bluffing. Great
seriously
bluff.
though, I feel like
Matt picked up kings now.
okay, I think wow. I do think Matt gets away with some things because he does somehow maintain a pretty tight image, like tighter than he actually plays, I believe.
What did he get away with there? He didn't. He wasn't bluffing.
What I'm saying is, I think people in that spot, or at least Peter, was giving him credit for he's never barreling, you know, all 3 streets into me without a flush here. That's what Peter's thinking.
Clearly, I mean, obviously,
So,
that's what Peter's
write
thinking.
that one down.
Let's get into this hand here.
850.
What time was that?
850.
850. That was a good one. Thank you.
All right, so
This is
we
a
got-
good hand, and this is probably going to be the next one we'll do. We have 2 over pairs versus a top pair. And Earl's got
And
top
Earl's
pair.
got back doors.
Yeah, he's got backdoor straight possibilities, backdoor flush possibilities with top pair. Matt has got the kings. Casey's not going anywhere with 9s.
This is a 3-bet pot. Sorry, I was lagging from the last hand.
Well, that hand, I was just, you saw me. I was like, he's not folding. There's no way he's folding.
I know.
I mean, it would
I
have been.
knew Peter was considering folding.
It would have been a much different scenario. By the way, Matt is just check. Oh no, Casey's check races.
Wow.
That's a massive overplay with 9s.
Earl definitely wanted to call there.
Yeah, Earl lets it go. The kings go nowhere. The pot is now 570. More on the last hand in a second, but this hand is
Yeah.
too interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll stick on this one right now.
So after
Now
Casey
Casey
check
checks.
raises,
And by the way, that's
wow,
the-
then he checks.
That's the problem with check raising with
Yeah.
9s. What do you do when you get called? Oh, well, you know what? It goes check, check, and hit a 9. That's what you do.
Good plan.
Right, good plan.
Good execution.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit my hand. That's what I'm going to do.
That's always a good plan.
Just hit your hand.
Just drill your 2-outer. Easy game.
I don't.
Easiest value bet here.
Yeah, I hate check raising in spots where.
A lot of bad turn cards for your
No, not
hand.
just that. I hate check raising where. I hate it when I'm called. Like, I hate it when I'm called.
Yeah, because
then I'm
what
like,
do you do on the turn?
ugh.
Like, you don't want to put yourself in a bad spot on the turn, especially against a good, solid player like Matt, who's capable. If you check the turn, you know, he can put pressure on you.
Matt kisses his money behind.
Yeah.
You know what, frankly, Matt? I don't feel bad for you because you got $1,000 gift.
That is pretty sick for Matt, because once he goes check on the turn, he's like, oh, okay, I'm pretty sure my kings are good here. I'm going to call a river bet.
Yeah, why
and
wouldn't
then,
he bet
you know,
that?
He gets 2 outed. What, on the turn?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Matt didn't bet turn.
Casey's a check raise flop check turn is so weird. I don't know. When I'm in a spot like that where I'm like, what is happening right now? Is he about to check raise me twice? I don't know. On that board, it just felt so awkward.
Right.
I like checking back in that spot.
Okay, fair enough.
But
I feel like...
you could definitely make a case.
No, I'm curious here. I want to ask you, before we get to the last hand, which was interesting,
Too much to talk about.
when the nines, when you get check raised and you have kings, you're obviously not going to fold on one right away, so you call. But the board was 8-4 deuce with 2 hearts. When your opponent check raises and then checks turn, I always think, and I could be incorrect here, I always think my opponent has flushes,
Like
flush draws,
5, 6, 6, 7.
way more than he
flush.
has nines, way more than he has sets. Like, I feel like if he had a set, he would keep barreling.
Yeah. That's why it's so
Which is
weird.
why
I just
I
feel
often
like if
will
somebody's check raising the flop, it's just so weird when they just check the turn on that turn. I don't know.
Right. Well, Matt could get
I mean, I
himself.
agree, but-
Matt is behind again with nines, but
Casey actually outflops him this time.
right.
So now he probably just check calls, right?
Yeah, nines are just. Matt's gonna see nines in his nightmare. I mean, he loses to nines. He loses with nines.
It's a kryptonite hand today. Although,
Can he double barrel bluff now? Can he turn it? No, he's checked back. Oh, this is the easy value bet for Casey.
yeah.
His king plays.
Right.
Your king
I
plays.
mean, he might go for like a check call, but Matt's not bluffing or value betting anything on this river.
I mean, unless he's checking to induce a bluff, and he's always calling, which is fine too.
Yeah,
If you think you can check and
I
get
feel like
Matt
it's
to
such
bet.
a bad bluff spot. Like Matt's never gonna
Right.
bluff there,
I was
but
gonna say unless you think Matt would fold a weaker jack,
yeah.
but bet. Yeah, like let's say you had Jack 10
Yeah.
here. Would he bet a Jack 10 on the river? He might.
Maybe.
Maybe you can get value by letting him value on himself. Okay, so let's go back to that other hand.
Maybe.
Clearly, we've seen Peter's image. We've seen Peter gives Matt credit, and Peter folded because he thought Matt had a flush. I understand all that.
Yeah.
If Matt's bet on the river was more polarizing, like the pot was like $700.
Yeah.
If Matt's bet was like $700, $800, I could understand
How much should he bet?
$250.
Okay, so it looks super value-y.
Like Peter was getting like 3-1 on the river.
Wow. All right, so what were you thinking?
My thinking was
If
like
it looks
if I'm ever going to hero
larger
fold,
sizing.
I would probably lean toward doing it when there's more polarized betting. I'm never folding in a spot where my opponent could theoretically be value betting a hand worse than mine.
Right.
Interesting. That was an interesting hand.
Yeah.
We got a lot of interesting hands. Sorry. Are we up to the next voting?
Yeah, we are.
What is the next one?
We are on the 5th category, voting for luckiest player.
Luckiest player. Well, right now Casey is definitely the leader in the clubhouse right now.
Yeah,
But we have 30 minutes.
I think so. That River 9 was pretty solid, although Matt getting that value bet bluff through against Peter was
Well, yeah,
or
if
maybe
Matt,
not a bluff.
well, if Matt didn't get unlucky by the 9 coming against him, I would have been
Right.
like maybe.
Yeah.
Isn't it great though when you check raise, get called, and you're like, ah, I hate it. Ooh,
Yeah.
good. There's a 9. That's easy.
Yeah. I try to avoid being in that spot, but
Valerie Cross, David Tuckman here for Stone's Live Survivor Series. We are live here at Stone's Gambling Hall. Nightlife going on the Saturday night. poker, other casino games over there, good beer. If you come down here and you meet me, I will buy you a beer.
Oh my.
Yes.
Offers on the table.
I will buy a beer for the first 10 people that come down and say,
wow. Guys, get down here. What are you waiting for? Yeah, we have 10 live games going besides the stream game. So.
And I don't like to judge a book by its cover, but I can tell you right now, from the looks of it, there's a lot of people giving money away.
Looks pretty decent.
Chris is the original raiser. He was under the gun +3, or just mid position, we'll call that at this point.
Casey makes the call.
Ozan is going to 3-bet this and all that. Some big hands too. I mean, we've seen some 3-bet bluffing, but we've also seen some 3-bet and 4-bet with huge hands.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of big hands.
Wow, that's a big 3-bet. That is a big 3-bet.
165. Wow.
There were a lot of callers.
So Chris opened, Casey flatted, and Ozan popped it.
Yeah, he has bombed this to 165. Yeah. Now, if Chris kind of levels it, I'm going to say, is Chris going to level himself?
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe Ozan's trying to induce it, like make it look more like a squeeze play than a value.
And he has,
there.
If I was in Chris's spot, I'd be like, Ozan's not doing this with kings or aces. He's doing this with like some sort of weird hand. I can do it.
If you think you can eliminate those hands from his range, then
okay, Chris says I have no problem making large bluffs, which always makes for interesting live streams.
All right, now we believe you, Chris. Loud and clear.
What are we voting for? Most skilled?
Luckiest.
No, skilled.
It's 9 now.
Is it really already?
I know. It's going fast.
We need to do a longer stream.
Luckiest player. Yeah, and Chris has the ace blocker. I mean, I would think that he. I don't think he's drunk.
Let's get into Ozan's seat, because earlier on we had aces versus kings.
Yeah.
One thing that's.
Wow, Ozan's like, oh crap, am I in the same spot as Brooklyn Dan here?
One thing that's very, very easy for commentators and viewers to fall into a trap of is we can see the cards. And you're thinking, oh, he's got kings, just go with it.
Yeah.
Earlier on, what were we advising with kings? Now, Chris has played it pretty close to the vest. If you're Ozan, what are you doing with kings here?
Wow.
And he's just going with it.
Yeah. And
he's like clicking it back.
It was pretty much the same situation, right? Like where kings 3-bet out of the blinds, and then
I mean, I'll throw this at you. Do we like the Ozan's 5-bet? Your opponent's either. I mean, is Chris either A, bluffing, or has aces?
Right. So in that case, he should flat.
I don't know. I like to just put questions out there. I mean, like you wonder. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to think about it.
Because Chris is going to tank fold now.
Right.
But Ozan obviously saying, you know what, you got aces, I'm going with it.
Maybe he hopes he has queens and goes with it or something.
Well, I'm wondering, I mean, is Chris's...
He has like 14, 1500 behind.
I'll ask you this. What is Chris's 4-bet value range here? Queens plus?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, we did see Ozan 4-bet with jacks, so... But I mean, in this case, Ozan's 3-betting. Yeah, I think...
And now 5-bet.
I think queens plus.
Okay, so basically if you...
But if he's also capable of doing it on a bluff.
Hey, you can also, by the way, you can also make the argument, you're a tournament player, you can make the argument in Ozan's case that, you know what, the pot's big enough, and Chris has 20% equity. I know I'm ahead of him right now.
Yeah.
I know that. But he has 20% equity. Do I really want to let him realize that equity at all? Because there's spots in tournaments where there is value to just taking the pot down.
Yeah.
And in cash games, at that point, there's already $1,000 in the pot. You can make the argument, let me just take it down.
Yeah, totally. And hope he makes a mistake with queens or something.
Right. Or who knows, maybe he's going crazy with ace-queen and he just thinks, he thinks you're bluffing.
Yeah.
And he's going crazy with ace-queen and he's going to call off.
Ace-queen suited, all right, go with it.
I got into a situation the other night, actually, and I don't often talk about my own game, but I got into a situation the other night where I was playing in LA and I was playing in a 5-5-10 game. And there was a crazy guy who was like 3-betting every other hand, and I opened with ace-queen, like under the gun +1. He 3-bet me. He didn't have that much money behind, and then this like sort of reg amateur player flatted. Anyway, long story short.
But he might be flatting wider against that person.
Yeah, and I thought his hand was pretty face up. I thought he would have 4-bet with anything really, really strong.
Yeah, exactly.
Ace Queen 10 here. Peter with the gut shot to the nut. Hazan with second pair. We don't know what Harlan has. Anyway, long story short, I decided to 4-bet. I was like, you know what? My hand's way ahead of the 3-betters range.
Yeah, just like try to ISO that.
And I didn't really want to play Ace Queen offsuit out of position.
Yeah.
So I decided to 4-bet. Sure enough, the 3-bet crazy guy folded, and the other guy ends up moving all in.
Queen on the turn here.
Yeah, Harlan had the best of it, but not anymore.
2 pair, queens and tens.
My 4-bet basically pot committed me, and I get it in, and sure enough, the Asian amateur player had Ace Jack.
Wow.
Which, I thought, I didn't hit a pair. And
What's
I
the
ended
end
up
of the
winning.
story? You win or lose?
I won with Ace Queen.
Nice.
I was pleased.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I was turning my hand over, just hoping. I was like, maybe he's got the same hand as me. Maybe we
Yeah,
chop.
it's like the only hand you're beating.
But I didn't even think I'd be beating
You
that.
didn't make a pair, right?
No.
Yeah.
I thought for sure I had lost to like 9s.
Right.
You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Like he just went with 9s or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, so it looked like Harlan check calls there, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, check calls with the top pair.
Top pair, no kicker. His kicker didn't even play, but he went with it.
Nice value bet by Azan.
You expect that from him.
Nice turn. We are voting for the luckiest player, so that was a pretty lucky turn for Azan.
For sure. For sure. And then obviously his skill came through there with his nice value bet. I guess my point was just to back up what you were saying when you said you never know. Sometimes when you allow your opponent to make a mistake, they make that mistake. And it was a weird thing where
Right.
obviously my opponent made a mistake with Ace Jack.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? Maybe Chris has Ace Queen there and just says, you know what? I'm going with it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I think you're bluffing.
Right. And I mean, with Azan's image, like he's definitely capable of squeezing, and I don't know about. I mean, I guess he could also.
Gay Corp says 5-bet shoving Ace Jack against a pot committed player equals kill yourself. Yeah, that's what I thought. Which is why what I said when I won the pot with Ace Queen high.
Yeah, you were shocked.
I was hoping.
Yeah, you assume in that spot you're not good, but you're
No.
already.
I was absolutely hoping that maybe he had Ace Queen suited and we were chopping. And honestly, if he had said,
Never a good spot.
if he had looked at me and said, "Do you want to chop the pot?" I might have been like, "Yeah, sure."
Yep. All right, Chris here with the top pair. Zahn with a gut shot and backdoor spades. Peter, same with the gut shot and backdoor diamonds.
An interesting stop for Peter to finally like stand his
Yeah,
ground.
right. He
Like, this
flats
is-
the button here.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of good turn cards for him. He's looking for a 9 or a diamond. Has position. I don't mind peeling one here, but I think he's just going to fold the turn.
I don't mind peeling as long as he figures out ways to win the pot without making the best hand.
Right.
You know, he's got to
Maybe
use some of the cards.
Maybe if Chris checks the turn, he fires.
Yeah. I think, you know, if a queen comes off, if an 8 comes off, if a 9 comes off, if a diamond comes off. I mean, I think if you're just hoping to hit your hand, you're losing money.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So I've been following you on Twitter, and you've been crushing the tournament circuit as of late. Congratulations.
Done pretty well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't seem to break through
Right.
the big ones, but hopefully soon.
You're like the Northern California's version of Kate Hall, but not as feminist.
I will definitely take that as a compliment.
Yeah. Like she's just
I
been
don't
crushing
know if
lately.
I can make that claim, but yeah, I hope to be like her.
Right. You got to dye your hair purple.
I've actually been considering dyeing my hair purple. Is her hair purple now?
It is. Well,
didn't even know
I
that.
don't know now. It was as of like 6 weeks ago.
Wow, what do you guys think? Should I go purple?
I like purple.
Yeah,
My
I
wife's
was-
purple.
I was thinking about doing it.
My wife was green and now she's purple.
Nice.
I like it.
It's a good color.
Yeah, it's cool. Why not? I mean, do it for your own reasons, though. Don't do
Yeah.
Don't do it to make us happy.
Yeah. I'm taking a little break from teaching, so I felt like I wanted to express my freedom, my newfound freedom. Gay Group said AD for luckiest player. He,
JD.
So AD is super action player in the area. He was on the last stream game, and I want to catch up with this one.
I got it. I'm
Okay.
watching. You go.
Yeah, so AD called a, gosh, what was it? So he called a bet, raised pre-flop with 4s.
Peter bets on a semi-bluff and takes it down. Continue
Nice.
on. Sorry.
I believe Kyle, gosh, the hand was against Kyle, right? Kyle 4-bet with kings. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it Kyle? He 4-bet with kings and like huge. And AD had just lost a big pot in flats with pocket 4s. And I forget who was behind him, and someone had jacks, and they come along. And AD, the flop's 5, 6, 7. So AD flop's open-ended, and they just get it in on the flop. He gets it in against kings and hits an 8 on the turn.
I saw that hand, yeah.
Oh, you saw that? Yeah.
I didn't. Now that you say it, I saw it.
Yeah.
Matt's going to raise to 35.
So
What are you
yeah,
going
luckiest
to do?
player, AD. Unfortunately, AD is not in this game tonight, but hopefully we'll see him again soon.
Got about 10 minutes left, and maybe 12 minutes left in the luckiest player. This is exactly what we're talking about right now. Who's the luckiest player at this table, guys? Put your vote in. 1 vote per IP address.
Man, there's been so much action at this table that Earl has not been able to get in there as much as I'm sure he would like to.
Give Earl credit, by the way, for adjusting to the table.
For sure, yeah.
He's going to call this with 6-4 offsuit. Sorry, he's going to 3-bet with 6-4 offsuit, which makes way more sense. Matt's going to call. Flop is Jack 10-5. We've got a lot of Jack 10 flops.
Yeah.
Earl's going to put a continuation bet out there, and I kind of like this. I mean, his hand has no equity whatsoever.
Yeah.
He gets check raised, he doesn't care.
Exactly. Easy fold if he gets check raised.
Right.
And it's hard to check raise Earl. And as I say that,
Matt does it.
nice.
I'll tell you, a lot of the players at this table are quite dangerous because I see a lot of players raising in spots where their hand actually has value. Like Ace Queen is going to be the best hand here a lot.
Yeah, but he recognizes that Earl's c-betting range is so wide here that he's going to have a lot of these like nothing hands.
It's not interesting.
The problem is, like I said, it's hard to check raise Earl because he's so sticky and he's capable of anything, and he doesn't like to fold. So a lot of times he'll just call a check raise and then put max pressure on you on the turn.
I love the check raise float. I think it's so powerful. Matt's just not that deep, but if these guys are really, really deep, you float that check raise, and then when the turn is like a red deuce, what does Matt do? It's like you're paralyzed. Oops.
Yeah, and that's another spot, like you said earlier, when Casey check raised and then checked the turn because it was he check raised with 9s with an overpair, Jack on the turn, and he just checks.
Right, Maddie? You didn't have
Lucky Invasion, yes I do. Although I'm on a short hiatus because of the World, because of this job at Stones, and of course I'm going to the World Series in like 2 weeks basically. So I am taking a hiatus from Live the Bike, but I'll be back there in late July, early August. What's next up for you?
I'm gonna go to Vegas next week with my mom, and then
You gonna play poker, or are you just gonna go there and party with your
I'll
mom?
play a little bit, and then run it up Reno, and I'm gonna be doing live updates for WSOP this summer. So
Another Jack
come say
10
hi,
flop.
guys. Wow, Jack 10. Don't fold Jack 10.
Yeah. Think about what could have been for Kyle. Remember earlier
Right?
on, he won a huge
Thinking about
pot.
that too. Yeah, he
flopped 2 pair.
limp folded Jack 10, would have flopped 2 pair and turned a full house.
Where both players actually against 2 other players who had something.
Right.
Maggie May says, "Hey
Maggie
Tuck,
May.
what is Peter's last name? I played with him before, but can't remember. Do you know Peter's last name?"
I can't remember. I feel like I knew it, but
See if we can find out
not
from Bob
here,
really
is
quick.
it? Okay.
I'm not attached to it.
Trying to do some intel for you.
We do not know Peter's last name. He is last nameless, we'll say. So playing a little bit,
Yeah,
doing
he's
that.
definitely
Okay.
a reg.
You and your mom gonna party in Vegas?
Oh yeah, we'll party.
Does your mom party? Hard?
Yeah, we
Like you guys are club hopping and stuff?
no, nothing like that. We we barrel drinks, shoot barrels, video poker.
What's your favorite spot in Vegas?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'll
I
start.
don't know, we've been hanging out with at Planet Hollywood a little bit, but used to hang out at Paris more. Yeah, what about you?
My favorite bar in Vegas, and there's a lot that I love, and obviously I've been to Vegas a ton. We'll get to that in a second. After this hands. That's what you call a teaser. Not that good of a teaser, but.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, see? Chris has got the gut shot. Hazan is open-ended with backdoor clubs. Not much there for Harlan or Casey. Casey's going to check.
Whose hand do you like here?
I like Hazan.
Chris has position and
He
the
does.
Queen of Hearts.
I like
But
that. I like
I
Hazan.
definitely like Azan's hand here.
Yeah.
Lots of good turn cards for him. He could turn a 9 or an ace. Clubs. As he just folds.
I know. I mean, unfortunately, Chris has got a lot of blockers for. He's got the ace blocker there,
True.
but Hazan's going to call the 110. Turn is a complete blank, and this might go check. I mean, Chris has got like nut no pair.
Showdown value.
He does have showdown value.
He's beating exactly Queen Jack.
I mean, if he's double barreling here, he's double barreling to get a 10 to fold. He's double barreling to get like
Yeah,
Jack 10
exactly.
to fold, 10 9
Yeah.
to fold. And that's what I
Which
always.
Azan could have. I mean, Azan could have lots of combinations of card draws with straight draws.
Right. And
something
then
like
try
that.
double barrel gets him off. I mean, he gets him off a worse hand, but a hand that has a lot of equity against it.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I always
Not
kind of
bad.
point that out to people. Like, when you are double barrel bluffing, or if you're bluffing in any situation,
Yeah.
try to figure out what is your opponent's range. What kind of hands are you trying to get to fold?
Right.
Because you're not trying to get a king to fold. The king's not
Right.
folding that.
Right. But
You're
he-
specifically trying to get a 10 to fold that.
Yeah, a 10 or like draw hands that have some equity against you.
Right, yeah. Anyway, so one of my favorite places in Vegas, and there are many great ones. I feel like I basically live there because I'm there probably basically 2 months a year.
Yeah.
You know? So I probably spent over the past decade or so. I probably spent about a year and a half of my life in Vegas.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But I will tell you, one of my favorite spots is
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear it.
9 Fine Irishmen.
What?
9 Fine Irishmen.
What is that?
It is a bar. It is an Irish bar with live music in New York, New York.
Oh, nice.
And I have no affiliation with New York, New York. I
Wow,
have no
yeah,
affiliation with them.
I have not really visited New York, New York in many years.
To the point where I like the band
Does
so
they have
much.
a piano bar or something?
There's a piano bar there, which I don't like as much.
Yeah.
Ace King 4, not exactly a flop you love if you have 10s. Danny Boxer's thinking, hey, where's the Jack 10 this time?
Yeah, I'd expected to go check.
But 9 Fine Irishmen, great little Irish bar with live music.
Nice.
It's a great band that does it. In fact, I
Sweet.
actually inquired. I talked to the band, and I wanted to see if they would play for my wedding.
Oh, nice.
But they were tied up like 320 days out of it, so they have no days off.
And that was like a few years ago?
It was, yeah, a couple years ago. But
That's cool.
if you guys have never checked out 9 Fine Irishmen,
Sweet.
fantastic,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of fun.
Go check that out.
Yeah, it's really cool. Not pretentious at all. Live music.
Yeah, I like
Go
that.
there, get your mom an Irish car bomb, and have a good time.
Oh yeah. Wap Bryce said to take my mom to a chandelier bar at Cosmo. It seems maybe a little too classy for us.
I like the chandelier bar. It's nice. Cosmo's fine.
No, yeah,
the chandelier
it's cool,
bar is
but,
gorgeous,
yeah,
but
it
it's
is
like
pretty. I've seen it, yeah.
it's a little foofy for me.
Yeah, a little much.
Yeah, I have video of me dancing at my bachelor party at 9 Fine Irishmen with some other bachelorette party that was there. It's
Nice.
it's a scary
Sounds like
sight.
a
Scary sight. There's
You a
nothing
good
pretty about it.
dancer?
No. I mean, I think I'm good, but I'm not good.
Nice. I probably want to see that video then.
I do commit.
Yeah, well that's
I'll
that's
commit.
important
I go in.
dancing,
I
you
jump.
know?
Yeah, I jump off the cliff and I jump in the water. I'm just not very good.
5 minutes left to vote for the luckiest player. We just have one more category. Has anybody checked out the voting? How are we doing? Is anybody pulling out
I don't think it's live for them. They can't tell.
I think they can see it.
Can they? Oh, I didn't think they could.
I don't think my tweet did anything. He has 2 votes.
You guys saw that the Hydra starting on May 20th. Check that out. That is a 100K guarantee. Check that out for sure. And then, of course, PLO every second Monday of the month. Valerie Cross, David Tuckman here for you. You can follow Valerie on Twitter at @DCrossPoker. You can follow me at Tuck on Sports. I can tell you I'm very active on Twitter. If you have a question for me that I don't get to tonight, feel free to send me a tweet. I promise I will get to it at some point.
Yeah, I answer my tweets too, but I don't know how much you value my opinion.
No, sometimes I get asked like the random question of like, hey, do you like this beer?
Yeah, nice.
That's cool.
Well, you're known as a beer connoisseur, right? You do podcasts on beer, right?
I'm not a beer connoisseur, but I do review beer.
But you like beer. Oh,
I do. Every Wednesday, by the way. Every Wednesday before the show, before Stone's Live Survivor Series, I am on Twitch as well, which is at twitch.tv/TuckOnSports.
Oh, sweet.
If you want to check that out, Tuck on Sports, give me a heart, I'd love it. But
Awesome.
I do a live Twitch show where I review beer.
Oh, cool.
And
Very cool.
generally get drunk and act like a fool. I know, standard.
What's not to love?
What's new?
All right.
Continue here. Peter raising on the button with the ace-8 of clubs. Flop is 10-6-3. Earl out flops him, and Danny Boxer could get himself in a little bit of trouble as he's out-kicked. Oh, wow. This really can get in trouble.
What a turn.
Yep.
It checks around. 10 on the turn. Gosh, Brooklyn Dan's got to be loving this. What happened?
No money's gone to
Hold
pot. It just continues
Are
to
these
check.
graphics right?
But we'll find out right now.
Okay, yeah. Danny does lead the
Now,
river.
and if you're Earl,
He must have been trying to trap.
Yeah. Everybody trying to trap. And
Bad trap.
Earl just calling?
What?
No, he's going to raise.
Okay. I was like,
Well, finally does raise. I mean, he doesn't have the nuts, obviously. Another question is, I assume Danny just calls.
he just makes a call.
He got away super cheap.
Yeah.
He got away
Actually,
super cheap.
He really did. I mean, I'm very surprised how that hand went down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that Danny Boxer checked the turn, giving
Surprised
Earl.
that Earl checked back.
Because when Peter is not the type of player to miss flop and then suddenly be like, oh, now I'll like I kind of feel like Earl had to know that Peter was going to check again.
Right.
Because he checked the flop.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really surprised Earl didn't bet the turn.
Yeah, I am too.
I mean, if Earl bets that turn, that pot is quite possibly twice as big as it ended up.
Yeah, and I mean, he has to. I mean, I think the best spot to go for value there is on the turn because of the flush draw. I mean, just in case somebody has diamonds or something and decides to make a call there with a draw. I don't know.
Again, just playing Earl's image also. If Earl bets there, I'm not necessarily folding ace high to Earl.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, because Earl's capable of just trying to, like, the board paired. My ace high very well might be the best hand right now.
Yeah.
You can get
with
action.
his image, the hand that's strong, I'm surprised he didn't bet there. We're seeing a new gear.
I thought you had it. He said he would.
Continually change their gears.
Yeah, for sure.
Earl, by the way, has rebought, I assume, we didn't see him win a big pot. So he's got 5,100 in front of him now.
5,000. He likes to have the table covered, I think.
Some guys are like that, you know?
Yeah.
They want to have the nicest car in the room.
That's right.
The biggest
Stack.
in the room. Well said.
Hold on. Earl stacked Kyle? Is that real?
Did that happen when did that happen? No, he did not.
You trolling us, Poker Pro Eric?
I was like, yeah.
No trolling.
No, Kyle's got 3,700 still. There's no way Kyle got stacked and then bought in for the same amount.
I think that was a joke.
Yeah.
I don't always get his humor. Just kidding.
I thought for a second, I was like, was I looking down for a minute and I missed the hand? And I missed the $6,000 hand that we like, when did that happen?
Yeah, that would be bad.
Danny Boxer racing to 35 in the cutoff seat with fours. Gets called in 2 spots. Fours no longer the best hand as Harlan hits his jack. Earl's got some backdoor possibilities.
Now
He's
Earl's
gonna take a shot
gonna lead out.
Yeah, I just feel like the bet when you don't have it, don't bet when you have it.
Yeah, I mean,
is kind of weird.
he usually bets when he has it and when he doesn't. So
Right, which
I
makes
don't
him
know.
really-
Maybe he just had a strong feeling that Peter was gonna bet that turn for some reason.
I guess so.
But-
I mean, that's what makes Earl so tough. I mean,
Yeah,
if he's
exactly.
betting when he doesn't have it, like ace eight of diamonds, and he's
Yeah.
also betting when he has it,
Right, that's
then it's really hard
very
to play
tough,
against him.
Right, and that's usually the case. So Earl picks up nut diamond draw here.
Yeah, he's looking for a diamond or an ace. I don't think Harlan's.
Wow, he just blasted. Oh, okay. Harlan only has about 550 behind.
Where did Harlan's money go? Is he just bleeding the money off?
I think so.
I mean, we haven't really seen him play any significant pots, have we? Just losing 100 here, 200 there,
Yeah,
100
it
there.
seems like he's just been bleeding off.
Harlan's not going to fold this, is he?
Wow. Wow.
When you showed me.
And he lets him look. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, again, that's a spot where Earl bet that flop, Jack 7-6, 6 on the turn. And Earl can just so easily have a 6 there.
Or a bigger jack.
Yeah, or a big Jack.
Queen jack can only beat a bluff at that point, but. And maybe the weird thing is, I will say, if you haven't seen Earl bluff that much, and he hasn't really bluffed that much today, then maybe you think, well,
I actually thought I was wrong.
Earl using his tight image to get a fold there.
yeah. This is gonna be the last vote of the evening, guys. We are into our final 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Amazingly,
voting for the most disciplined.
most disciplined player.
Wow.
So I mean, in my eyes, most disciplined is not necessarily the tightest.
Right.
The tightest. Mine is.
Maybe good fold.
I always view it as the player who has the discipline to like make a really tough laydown in a tough spot, or even the player that has the discipline to go ahead with a play that
Sure.
when it's scary.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Earl with top 2. Kyle hates this flop. We're all smiling right now.
Earl's on fire.
Yeah, everything's going his way. I mean, even the hands where he's not getting max value, he's
Also
still
been off
winning.
the table.
Yeah.
That's why I ended. Kyle, don't change.
Broadcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday right now, and the Saturday streams will continue through June 18th. Next week, I host 816 Omaha, 8 or better.
Yeah, so get your votes in for the last category, most disciplined player. The player with the most votes will go on to that single table satellite on Saturday, June 18th. The winner of that tournament will get a free $10,000 seat.
Are you going to
Main event?
try to get in on the Saturday, June 11th employees game?
I don't believe I'm allowed to play
You're not
the
employed?
main event.
You can't
The
play
main event because of my summer job. So
Right.
unfortunately, I will not be coming back for that.
Are you selling any pieces to the employee event?
I don't know yet.
Let me know.
Okay.
Let me know, okay?
Will do.
I might be interested.
Okay.
Talking about the World Series of Poker employees event.
Yeah.
Employees of the World
Looking forward
Series.
to that.
Even part-time employees can't play when they're working,
Yeah.
except for the employees event,
The first event, yeah.
which is one of the reasons I can actually only play the main event each year
Why?
because my live streaming duties for the World Series
they
ends.
end before the
They
main
end,
event.
so theoretically
yeah.
my World Series of Poker contract ends right then and there.
Nice. Cool. I should have got a deal like that. No.
And then not work, and then not cover the main event. Yeah, the World Series main event, which of course, this Survivor Series is leading to that. That is a tournament that should be on everybody's bucket list. It is a great
Oh
tournament to
yeah.
play.
I know.
I'd love to play it someday.
It's a lot of fun. You do well in it.
Thanks.
I think your temperament and your style would do very well in it.
Thanks.
Like we're on live.
Yeah, that's
You
a
strike me as somebody who
marathon
has,
for sure.
Yeah, you strike me as somebody that has patience, picks your spots well.
Yeah, more now than I used to.
I think being married helps you with patience.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Veronica and Friends every third Wednesday of the month, and Veronica said she was going to come down here,
Oh yeah?
but I don't see her, so I'm assuming that maybe something came up.
And Tuck's buying drinks.
Yeah, I know.
so
Veronica, come on. I'm buying drinks.
Get down here, guys.
The first 10 people that say hi to me will get a beer.
Wow. Free roll, guys. Lots of free rolls here at Stones.
And they have good beer here. I'm not talking about
Yeah,
the Coors
they
Light.
really do. Zahn with the best hand here with 8s. He'll take it down. Uncontested.
I'm still looking for a personal sponsor, a personal beer sponsor.
Ooh,
I want that.
nice.
I would wear a one-piece beer outfit.
With like the beer hat.
Oh, I would wear
With straws.
I would if I had
That
a
would be
proper
so
beer
awesome
sponsor.
for a beer company.
I want that. I mean, I want it to be a good beer though.
I want that for you.
Thank you. That would make me so happy. And they wouldn't even really have to pay me. I mean, they could just get me beer.
I mean,
That's all I ask.
gosh, that's a win-win.
Just send me beer.
Sounds like a
I mean,
win-win.
if I got like what?
We'll play for beer.
I say 2 cases a month for a year.
Nice. And maybe they buy you into some tournaments or something?
You should yeah, that's it. You're hired. You're my agent.
I got
okay?
you, man.
Done. You're my agent. I
I'll
love
get you
it.
a good deal.
Once again, you are watching the Stones Live Survivor Series, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We are live here at Stones Gambling Hall. Thank you for spending your Saturday night with us. Veronica's not here. Valerie Cross, David Tuckman.
You played that off really well.
Yeah. Thank God
It
Veronica's
happens a
not
lot.
here.
All right, we got some action.
Yeah, Peter raises under the gun +1. Peter kind of opening his game up a little bit now. Earl calls.
He probably
Harlan,
saw that one hand and he's pissed.
Yeah, Harlan is 3-bet getting it in. I mean, he is obviously committing himself.
Yeah.
Kyle says,
The
okay,
short stack.
we'll gamble. Kyle can't have a bad hand here. Now, he turns out he has ace-jack, but it can't really be a bluff because he knows he's committing himself against Harlan.
Right, yeah. He's just hoping, I guess, to be flipping or to be up against a worse ace.
Yeah, I guess he's just saying Harlan is over it.
Oh, what just happened? Harlan folded.
Did you have the ace of spades? Open my card was under 9.
I'm seeing the weirdest plays. Like, he had $480. How do you 3-bet to 150 with ace-queen and fold? I mean, the whole thought, Kyle was 4-betting there because...
Yeah, I thought he was just raising to get it in there.
Right. I mean, unless Harlan kind of leveled himself into thinking, well,
That is.
Kyle
Harlan does his
knows.
faces?
Kyle knows Kyle knows I'm not folding, and he's
Right.
4-betting anyway, so he must have strong
Yes.
hands.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Harlan added on.
That makes
That's
more
why.
sense. Okay, but by the way, the money was not in front of him yet, so he had obviously
He
he had announced behind.
yeah. So they knew he had a bunch behind, but we didn't know that.
Which
so.
okay, so that makes more sense now.
That's okay.
So I'm going.
So in that case, he raised to 150 and decided to
I was
fold.
gonna say, I was like, how do you fold with $300 more? He was getting like 2.5 to 1.
Yeah. Mystery solved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he would have done that.
Queen Jack 10.
I like Casey's hand.
Yeah. I think Earl wins it though.
Earl leads out.
I think Earl wins this. I don't even know. Obviously, we don't know what Casey has.
Right.
Casey has position. I still think Earl wins the hand. I think Earl wins the spot.
Nice.
What a call.
Thank you. Thank you,
Wow,
Earl.
amazing. Yeah, I wasn't as confident as you about that.
I just took the other side.
Again,
make a
Earl's
statement.
using his tight image,
make a statement.
you know? This is a new side for Earl. He's like, I'm just gonna knit up for
say
an
there was
hour and a half,
You
and
didn't say it was a
then
30% chance.
just get some bluffs through.
Poker Pro X says the announcers not know that this game is uncapped. Table max. No, we know that. Actually,
No, we said that.
the 1-3 game here, the 2-5 game, and the 5-10 game are all table max games. The one thing we didn't know is we didn't know
He
Harlan.
ordered chips.
Jacks.
We didn't know that he had
Yeah, he
rebought.
just had a short stack, so.
Right. And obviously our graphics guys didn't know that either, so we were going off what we saw.
Give us a break, guys.
It's okay.
Another good bet.
Got some tournaments coming up. We have the Hydra. $100,000 guarantee for a $200 buy-in. You can buy in multiple times. You can multi-min cash in that. There's 6 starting flights starting May 20th. So May 20th, 21st, and 22nd, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m.
7 high flop, all spades out there. Azan is going to like this one with the jack high. Unfortunately for him, nobody really has much of anything.
Yeah, I like the lead out though.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, it's one of those things where you just got to hope that somebody's got an overpair, or you know, somebody's got a big ace, a big
spade,
ace or a king of spades or something like that. You're going to get action. I think we should go more tonight. Let him play more. 2 or 3 more hours. This is just too good.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
I'll tell you that.
I just want the people at home to know that when this stops, don't blame us. It's not on us. Valerie and I have both volunteered to go longer.
Yeah, if you guys want to keep watching this game, get down here to Stones. I'm sure it'll keep going. There's going to be a bunch of action tonight. So lots of live games going. The PLO is in action.
Is that what are you gonna play?
Hopefully, I have a seat.
You gonna play PLO?
Yeah, I'll try. Try to get in there.
Probably look really good.
Is that gonna be a $200 to $1,500 game?
I think it's 1,000 max.
All right, biggest part of the night about to go down right now.
I think PLO though should be 6-handed.
Yeah, I think.
Frankly, I think no limit.
I think max 8, but
yeah,
I don't like playing 9-handed PLO.
It's just too much of a nut fest.
Too nutty, yeah.
Yeah.
Nutty, so nutty.
But it's like, I mean, I've seen, like, in a game where I'm playing, in a 6-handed, I just think there's more decision making when you're playing 6-handed, 5-handed, even 7-handed. 9-handed, I watch people playing PLO where it's like, they check call with the second nut flush knowing they can't get 2 streets of value.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know, I'm just, it's a little bit boring, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, I think 9-handed no limit can be boring too.
6, 7, or 8.
Yeah.
That's for sure, especially if you've been playing a lot of PLO. 2 cards gets a little boring. The Twitter roll. Somebody asked about the Twitter roll. That's going to be Monday, May 30th.
That does not.
Memorial Day?
That does not, by the way, Poker Pro Act, that does not interfere with any of the World Series of Poker. The World Series of Poker actually doesn't start until June 2nd. The Employees event is June 1st, but the first event at the World Series is not until June 2nd. And the Colossus is actually like 3 day ones or 4 day ones.
Yeah, that whole first weekend, right?
Yeah, that whole first week. So you can come here, play the Twitter roll, win some money, then head to Vegas for the World Series.
$35 buy-in gets you 3,000 starting chips. You have to be following at Stones Gambling and at Stones Live Poker. You get 3,000 bonus chips to follow the tournament directors. So that information is in the chat.
Yeah. You get an additional 1,000 bonus for following me.
Oh.
Not true.
You get a beer.
Not true. Yeah, true. Yeah, there you go. You get a beer.
If you can find him.
If you follow me and then you find me, you get a beer.
Nice.
Harlan with the 2 pair here. Aces and 7s. Does that bother you when people say that's 2 pair?
What do you mean?
Did I say that Harlan has 2 pair?
Oh, no.
Does that bother you?
No.
It tilts some people.
It bothers me when people announce their hand like that. Like.
Right. When they're clearly angling. I had a guy.
Yeah, they're like 2 pair, but they actually, they have 1 pair and then there's 1 pair on the board.
Right. I had a guy today do that to me where I thought he was bluffing and I called him down with 4s. On like it was like a
Just
king.
a hero call?
Oh, it was like a king, queen, king, queen, queen, 9 deuce board.
Okay.
And I called him on the river because the way he played, he just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And he goes 2 pair. And I was like, okay. And then he turned up a 3. He turned up with 3 and I had 4s.
Oh, wow. With the queens on the board.
Right.
Yeah, always wait and see their hand before you do anything.
But I was like, I didn't say anything to him, but I feel like that's kind of a little bit of an angle.
I think it's an angle. I don't like it. but I've been angled much worse than that. So
Of course,
whatever.
of course. And I always tell people, I say, listen,
Don't care
when you're playing
anymore.
poker, I do think the majority of poker players are good people. I don't think people out there to angle
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
But anytime you're doing anything,
Some people do though.
exactly. Anytime you do anything for money, anything,
Yeah.
there are going to be people out there, unscrupulous people, that
gonna be some
will
hustlers.
try to figure out an angle to cheat you. And it's not,
Yeah.
by the books, it's not cheating.
Yeah.
So the one thing I say to everybody, I say protect yourself. And one of my biggest things is
Yeah.
when somebody says, look, it's Kyle.
Wow, it looked like Kyle check raised this flop,
And Peter not falling
called
for it.
with 5s. 9 on the turn. Is he gonna fire again?
Well, he's going to have to. He's picked up some equity, though. He can get the
Yes.
jack along with a king or a queen.
Yeah.
And I think if he fires again, it's going to work. I don't see how
Yeah.
Peter can call twice
I
if he
mean,
does.
Peter has like the worst hand that he could have there.
Yeah.
Looked like a draw type hand, but
And maybe Peter calls just to see if Kyle will do it fire a second
yeah.
level. Anyway, so one of my biggest caveats when I say that to beginning players is you'll see a lot of guys go, I moved all in blind or I raised blinds. And I always try to I go, as far as I'm concerned, assume that your opponent looked at their hands unless you actually saw them and watched them the entire
exactly.
time.
Yeah, very true.
I've seen a lot
How
of guys.
does most people when they say that they're all in blind, they always have kings.
Shockingly, wow.
Like 90% of the time they have kings.
I didn't even look. Yeah, okay.
I do have a friend back home who like always got kings when he did it blind, and he 100% did it blind. But anyway.
Hey, I'm okay with. There are a lot of times where
Zach
I will
the
give
Mac.
somebody action if I know they didn't
Yeah,
look.
but you have to watch them get their cards and watch them the whole
Never
time.
look.
Yeah.
Danny Box with ace king, Harlan with kings. Harlan not that deep. Chips could go in here. We'll see how it plays out. Boxer raises, Harlan 3-bets. Chris is gonna get out of the way with the gap suited connector. Back over to Boxer. And he just calls. Pot $270. And there's the ace.
Wow. Insta. Wow, and Danny has the ace of diamonds too. He's gotta be loving this.
Yeah,
And he's in position. Check your cards, make sure you got it.
right. This is, by the way, this is also kind of one of the things when you have ace king, this is what we were talking about before, like when you're calling 3-bets with ace king, especially when you're out of position,
Yeah.
unless your opponents are in there with ace queens and ace jacks, those are the hands you're really going to get value from. You know, when you have them out
Right,
kings.
right, yeah.
You know, when your opponent has kings, sees the ace, okay?
Yeah. So he just raised him there, right?
Yeah, he did raise.
Harlan let out.
Harlan let out 200.
Oh no, I would definitely consider flatting there. Just, I mean, what's calling you? Your hand looks like ace king.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I mean, Harlan folded. It's a good fold by him,
Yeah.
but if I was in Harlan's spot, I might not believe Dan there, because I'm looking
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Dan
what's he
could just
raising?
wrap an ace.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you, like, why would you raise ace king here?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You actually have diamonds? Like, if you had an ace, why would you
Yeah.
raise?
Levels on levels.
Yeah, I might level
Leveling.
myself.
Yeah,
I
there's a
might
lot of
level myself
leveling
and
going
go
on
with it.
in this game, especially.
Matt's gonna raise here to 30. Matt's been a lot of fun tonight. Once again, who is the most disciplined player at the table? What do you think? This is a tough
12
one.
more minutes to vote for most disciplined. Well, I mentioned before, I think Matt H is super disciplined. He'll
Normally,
barrel.
but is he today?
I don't know. I think he's been playing
His
relatively
game?
disciplined. Although that King Queen surprised me, but maybe it was just like a sick value bet bluff. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna ask him about that one. But yeah, I think in general, he folds to 3-bets when he should fold, and I don't know.
Well, let's see then. Let's see if Harlan gets there and Matt somehow gets away from it. Small little bet here by Matt. He bets $40. Maybe 75. Harlan's not going anywhere with the open-ended straight draw. He's gonna call.
Plus he has 2 flush draws.
Yeah. Harlan raises.
Wow.
Min raise.
Sick. Dropping the 9 here. Min click.
Ace of clubs doesn't really change anything. I mean,
Yeah.
if Harlan had raised with like ace X of hearts, maybe, but.
Right.
And it goes check, check.
Back.
Matt's raise in the flop was kind of like a limit raise, limit hold'em, where you raise to get a free card in the turn.
Yeah, Harlan, you mean?
Yeah, Harlan,
Harlan's
sorry,
raise.
thank
Yeah,
you.
totally. To get a free card, and it worked.
Hey, you got a free card.
And he just, Harlan just checks back the river and gives up there.
So this Twitter roll thing on Monday, May 30th,
Yeah.
buy-in just $35, 25-minute levels, top 40 are in the money.
$10,000 prize pool for a $35 buy-in, not too bad.
I like it.
So just come down and get some free money on Memorial Day. You guys are all off work,
I wish I lived closer.
right? Although sometimes I wish I lived closer to LA.
Yeah. They both have their advantages
Yeah.
and disadvantages.
Good and bad everywhere.
My guess is you guys probably have better traffic here than we do.
Better traffic.
I mean, less traffic, I should say.
Yeah, it's all terrible to me because I'm from the Midwest, where driving is like relaxing, and people are courteous on the road.
Right.
Don't get me started.
I mean, if you need to relax, you can always just do drugs before you start driving.
True.
That's the way to do it.
How most people deal with it.
Yeah, it seems like it. Danny Boxer's going to raise to 35. Oral 3 bets. Casey calls. Quad
What?
jacks. Quads.
What is this vlog?
Now, this is funny. By the way, the quad jacks are still in there. He didn't fold.
Yeah.
I actually had somebody ask me, they said, how do you play quads? And I was like, it happens so infrequently. Nobody knows how to play
How
this.
do you play quads? Well, it depends. Like everything else in poker.
I mean, you got to realize that it's like, your opponents don't have anything in all likelihood. And the problem is,
You usually want to give them some rope, see if they'll, maybe.
Danny Boxer's bet like 220. No, okay. Earl bet 225. Danny Boxer calls. The problem with this is, well, Earl will never put you on.
He asked for Harlan's sunglasses during the hand. He's so comfortable.
Yeah, so comfortable.
Wow.
And this is the issue is even if you don't put your opponent on quads, it's very easy to put your opponent on one jack.
Right. But he might be hoping that Earl's just gonna rep a jack.
His hand looks like a jack so often.
Yeah. I mean, he's trying to make it look like missed clubs or something, but Earl has nothing.
Even if Earl hit a queen on the river, I don't think he's calling it.
Yeah, unless it's a very small bet.
Did he show?
Yeah, shit quads.
Earl just shook his head.
And he gives the sunglasses back, and Earl's like, yeah, okay, you got a little extra money from me. Kentucky is not Midwest. What? First of all, I'm really from Cincinnati. I grew up in Cincinnati, but I was born in Kentucky. But how is... Oh, okay, like, you think Kentucky is the South? I mean, I'm from an area that's definitely Midwest, though, like the tri-state area with Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana, so very Midwest.
Is there a portion of Kentucky that you consider the Southeast and a portion of Kentucky you consider the
Yeah, I would
Midwest?
say, a lot of Kentucky I would consider like South, I guess, but
Based on the geography or based on just the people that are there?
a little bit of both. Yeah, I think culturally, a lot of Kentucky is southern. Just a shortcut,
Right.
Next door to Appalachia, yeah, exactly. We got less than 10 minutes left.
Get your votes in, guys. Who is the most disciplined player at the table?
Disciplined.
I gotta tell you, Earl's actually impressed me.
Man, Earl might get the most discipline and most action.
That's what I mean. I mean, for him,
here we go.
knowing who Earl is, I think Earl is actually... He's pushed where he had to push, and then he's pulled back in other spots, and he showed the discipline to adjust. He's actually shown the discipline to adjust to this table.
Yeah, very impressed with Earl. Earl's discipline tonight.
Who got most dressed player?
Most dressed.
Most dressed.
Actually, in the first one, there should have been most dressed because the winner, Jake, was not fully dressed.
Casey with his
got
orange
best
shirt.
dressed. All right, so everyone liked the orange.
Yeah, apparently. I gotta wear my orange.
Earl got most entertaining.
Most entertaining.
Makes sense.
Story checks out.
Is there
Most
anything-
actiony gambling. Also Earl.
Oh. It's like Earl's.
Earl is.
We don't want to spoil it. But...
No, I'm not spoiling it.
Yeah.
Earl right now is definitely the leader in the clubhouse, but it's close enough that the next 10 minutes could change it.
For sure, guys. Get your votes in there.
Yeah, I mean, it is close right now.
Casey's still good here with the pair of kings.
And he's going to take that one down.
Oh, yeah.
Hope you enjoyed the show, guys. I know I've enjoyed my time up here at Stones. Hopefully I'll be back up in Stones in August, September.
Sweet.
But this is my last foray here at Stones for at least a couple months.
Yeah, always good to have you in the house.
A lot of fun. I don't need much to kind of like, I mean, you got a good card game, good beer, and good food. I mean, it's like, okay, why wouldn't you come up?
Right?
Great.
Why wouldn't you come up is the question.
Yeah. So the straddle not in on this one. Playing 5-10. Just a few minutes left, guys. Once again, if you have any questions for Valerie and she didn't get to them, you can tweet her at @VCrossPoker. You can tweet me at Tucker on Sports. Earl raises to 35 with the King 8 offsuit. Azan's gonna call. Casey's gonna call, or no? Yes, Casey called in a row.
Yep. Calls on the button.
6-5-5, 2 diamonds out there. Nothing there for anybody. Earl's the pre-flop aggressor.
Is Earl gonna win this one?
Probably.
Shit.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah, I could see Azan leading out here, you know, with out of the big blind, but he's just going to give up. He's yawning. He's tired. He doesn't feel like it.
I don't really understand Casey's play here, though. If you're calling on the button, and by the way, I'm a big believer in position. I generally look for excuses not to play out of position, and I look for excuses to play in position.
Right.
But if I'm going to call a raise with Queen 9 offsuit,
and it gets checked too.
Especially on a board like this, 6-5-5 with 2 diamonds, that's the kind of board that's actually going to hit my like button calling range. Like I'm going to have a lot of like 7-8s.
Yeah, definitely button calling range or big blind calling range there.
So I mean, I'm probably going to bet because I can't win it with Queen High.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he's checking back, hoping for like a 9 or a queen.
That's, and by the way, if the queen comes up, you don't even know if you're good. I mean, your opponent could very easily have a bigger queen than you.
Probably a good spot to...
Well, I mean, if you are going to call pre, that seems like a hand to take it down. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see if Casey's as good as playing jacks as Danny Boy is. I'm sorry, all I want to call him is Danny Boy.
Yeah. Brooklyn Dan, really good at playing jacks, turns out. Kings didn't work out so great, but...
Yeah, he's much better at jacks than kings. He needs to reread the chapter on kings.
Yeah.
So Chris opens to 35. Peter has king queen as well, another big hand. Let's see if Casey decides just to flat this or raise. Jacks are one of those hands where I do 3-bet occasionally, but not all the time.
Yeah, looks like he bumps it up to 85 in position.
Are you always 3-betting jacks, or are you occasionally
I think
just
in position, you know, after somebody called, I'm more inclined to, but definitely not always.
Right.
Yeah.
Jacks are one of those hands that I love 3-betting with, but if I get 4-bet, I throw up my mouth.
Right, exactly. And there are a lot of times where set-minded jacks
right, that's what I mean. It's like
people are not expecting it.
You put the game on inside to go.
Yeah, unfortunately, Casey does not play jacks as well as Danny plays.
Turns out.
Yeah, Chris has got the ace king. Chris checks, and Casey's going to bet the jacks.
Especially after Casey 3-bets.
No, I want it though.
Chris is going to check. Let him continue here.
By the way, I forgot I'm on video, because I'm making all these facial expressions like, what is he doing? I don't understand it, but you can see this. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's a good time to remember that you're on video. There's 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I just realized. I'm like, okay. Well, I just don't understand. It's like
You're so judgy.
yeah, I know. Well, I just don't. I guess I don't get checking back Queen 9 on the button when you have no showdown value. And 3-betting with jacks and betting with jacks. Yeah, nice boy.
And Chris does put in the check raise here in case he's squirming. What can he do, really?
I mean, some people might be thinking, well, if you check back the jacks on this flop, are you allowing your opponent, are you making it easier for your opponent to bluff you out later on? Like, let's say they had king queen. First of all, you know, they do have some equity versus you, and maybe they can fire. But I feel like, you know, maybe you can induce a bluff.
Yeah.
Maybe you check back to call one straight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he also has a diamond. He could turn a diamond draw.
Right. I mean, it's unlikely he can turn a jack.
Yeah. Plus, he would check back top set, so he could.
Yeah. I mean, he might.
So that might be my Philo talking.
Right. No, he might though. You're right. I mean, I just go back to the old adage of like, you know, like. For me, it's a question of, you know, why are you doing what you're doing, you know?
Right, yeah, you need to have a reason.
Right.
It might not be a good reason, but as long as you have a reason.
It's almost never a good reason when it comes to me. But I will say, like, I would say that the first step from going from average to good player is having a reason for everything you do, whether it's checking, betting, raising, whatever you're doing, having a reason for it. And if you do have that reason, then later on you can start examining, okay, are these reasons bad? Are they reasons good? Do they make sense? But at least have a reason.
Exactly, and maybe was there a better way to play it? I mean, exploring other options, and hand recall is really important, taking it to the next level, like you're saying.
Right.
So
I think because they've made us bigger and the game's smaller, that's the end of the show. So my lobbying for a longer show tonight has gone.
You got denied, apparently.
On deaf ears.
Yeah, thanks guys for joining us tonight. It was an awesome game.
Yeah, this is one. If you joined us late, I would go back to twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker and watch this in its entirety. If you can't stand the commentary, watch it on mute.
You can
it's
mute
that
us.
Good.
You can also there's a chat replay, so you can watch the stream and read the chat. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the archives are on there. So.
Yeah, for sure, guys. Thank you so much once again. I want to thank Stones Gambling Hall.
What?
I want to thank the Stones Gambling Hall for bringing me up here. This has been a lot of fun. I love working with these guys here. I love working with Justin. Oh, is he coming in?
Yeah.
Right. So we're getting our winner and I guess the tournament director.
Oh yeah. Justin's gonna
bring us in.
Tell us.
So we'll babble.
Tell us about the winner.
I was just saying I want to thank Stones Gambling Hall for bringing me up here. This has been a lot of fun, and hopefully I'll be up here a lot more over the next year.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for opening up your booth and letting me in.
Yeah, of course. It's been fun.
God, that sounded dirty. Sorry.
Opening up my booth?
Yeah.
Hold on.
And letting me in. Wow. Very innocent. I apologize. And I want to thank you all for watching us and spending your Saturday night with us. Again, a reminder, tomorrow there is a tournament, a bankroll builder up here with bounties on Annette Oberstad's head and Erica Lindgren's head. By the way, how do you marry somebody? If you're Erica, you can't marry an Eric. That's just weird.
I know. I feel like that was...
it's kind of weird. Anyway,
a little weird.
That's going on tomorrow. You can check that out.
Yeah, $250 buy-in. Top 10% will get $22.50.
Pretty awesome stuff. I know Lon McCarran will be here as well. Come say hi to him. If you knock out Lon, I am putting a personal bounty on his head. I will buy you a 6-pack. Just let me know who beat Lon. Lon confirms it. On top of that, Monday night, live stream here. Stones Live Poker. Wednesday night, Stones Live Poker. Next Saturday is the 8/16/08 tournament. 8/16/08 Survivor Series. You can still get in on that action. Send your bio in no later than Wednesday noon. Are you jumping in here?
We're going to be slide over. So
let's slide over.
We're going to bring the winner right in. This winner needs no introduction.
Okay.
He's a celebrity.
I suspect we know who might be.
We're going to put you in the middle seat.
By the way, that was the voice of Justin Curitis, the silky smooth voice.
What's up, buddy?
Of Justin. He could honestly, he could be like a late night jazz host.
Oh yeah.
Late night jazz from Justin Curitis. You ever think of that?
Silky smooth tones.
Late night jazz, yeah, I like it.
Get in here so they can actually see you, man.
Can my big head fit in here?
There we go.
Okay. Well, I like that. All right.
This is great. I like it.
Earl took 108 votes. He beat the next closest person, who had 57 votes, so almost double the next person's votes. You're pretty popular.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Congratulations, Earl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not surprisingly, he did very poorly in the most most stylish, best dressed.
I mean, look at these shorts, though. Oh man.
Oh man, yeah, we needed us to stand up apparently.
Dude, you got to see some. You got to see some
You
naked
did have
Earl
like double sunglasses though. That's always.
Yeah, Harlan has
style
some
points.
cool Ray-Bans that, when you look through them, they're blue, and everything's kind of like a light
that's what was
blue
happening.
on it. Yeah, it's real nice.
So June 18th, you're coming back to play in the sit and go. The winner of that sit and go gets to go to the Vegas, the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to disappoint the people that voted for me, but there's like a really big chance I don't play. But there's a way. He said if I don't come back, they'll take all the runner-ups from the last, whatever, the 10, and they'll draw for one of them to take my seat.
Oh,
so I'll
that's
make sure
cool.
someone's in the seat, so I'm not.
So it won't be an empty
I don't
seat.
want to screw people.
Are
but
you going to play the main event regardless?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll play the main event.
What'd you think of the table? It was interesting. We thought you would run the show, but
They
it was a
weren't.
really action.
Yeah, they
a lot of
weren't gonna.
three-night.
But like Harlan's a good buddy of mine, and he's probably the biggest action in the game
Nice.
besides me.
And he's your-
we'll play a lot of goofy pots together. But he's on my direct left, and like he's
Yeah.
gonna flat me a lot and kind of put me in tough spots. So I don't, you know me. I don't know much poker strategy, but I kind of like to play a lot of weird hands. And,
Yeah. So you decided to shift the gears a little.
yeah, I was never really in the right spot, and,
Yeah.
and it's funny because like the stream ends, and the very next hand, of course, it's like 8-way limp to my blind, and of course I make it like 100, and I get 5-way action. It's like, oh, this would be fun. Like this is kind of a
Oh
fun
man.
hand. Yeah.
Did you win the hand?
No.
What did you have?
I mean, I was out of position, 5-player. I couldn't win. I had pocket fives.
And you didn't
You
flop
didn't
a
flop
set?
quads?
10-7 flop, checks around, and then turn came a 3, and I check. Harlan bets, Casey calls, and they
You
see a
shove?
river,
I'm
and
just
Harlan
kidding.
shoves a short stack, and Casey folds. But so Harlan just has a 10, but yeah, I wasn't gonna win. Yeah.
Speaking of having a 10, so there was a hand earlier on, maybe 45 minutes ago, where you flop top pair with king 10, turn trips, and the player on your right had
Three-way
queen
pot
10.
with a Dan
And you checked it. I was
Peter.
we were both very
No,
surprised you
and
checked
it's funny
the
because I
turn.
usually check that spot, but Peter is really tight.
Right.
Okay, so he's going to like if he has an overpair there, he's always going to check the flop back a lot.
Oh, you think he would have
Yeah. Or if he, so I'm just,
And bet the
and I really don't. I mean, I have a 10. There's 2 10s on the board. There's only 1 10 left. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard for the guy to have a 10 in his hand.
Right.
So I just assumed, I'm hoping that Peter has a little something.
Right.
And then obviously on the river when he bets out, I go, well, a 10 here makes more sense to him than a straight. And obviously I'm just raised folding on the river. I'm just trying to get a little more value out of my hand because I'm frustrated that I didn't get more chips in.
Right, and then of course you got the nice bluff in there with the ace-8 of diamonds against your good buddy Harlan. Harlan actually folded a jack there. You folded top.
Yeah, no, I picked up his hand and looked at it.
Yeah, he looked at it.
Yeah, no.
You guys showed each other.
No, he showed me, and then I said you can look because earlier he had bluffed me when he had ace-8. I mean, it wasn't a big bluff. I mean, I had 7-5, flop came king queen 7.
Yes.
So it was like a whatever king queen. He has an ace king or queen in his hand like 90% of the time when he 3-bets me there.
Yeah.
So like it was just an easy fold. But he just happened to have a hand I beat, so I looked at it ace-8. So
And then you kind of
I got him back with the
and you
ace-8.
kind of overreacted on that one. Were you
Yeah.
surprised that he folded that good a hand? Because he only had like $400.
Okay, so Harlan's, I mean, he's actually, he was zigging when he should be zagging. He was just, he wasn't playing like, he normally is pretty good presence at the table, and he puts people in tough positions, but he,
it's one of those nights for him.
yeah, he just wasn't having the greatest night, and it's like when a guy's down, like they're making their own folds, and when they're, it's like if he was running good, he would have just snap called me there, took the chips.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I picked up nut flush draw, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Make sure I read my hand right.
Yeah, you had a lot of outs. I mean,
yeah.
And you're gonna have a 6 there occasionally.
What did Azan have when I had king 3 and I 3-barreled?
Queens.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna still bet.
Great show in the river.
Well, yeah. I knew I had an 8 for an out. I mean, I felt I had an 8 for an out. So I felt I had a king. I'm hoping he has over. I know he has an overpair. I'm just hoping it's under a king because I had a king in my hand.
What are you doing?
And then I turn open-ended. I have 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 makes me, a 2 makes me, and then an 8's a bluff card. So yeah. But
just
it's
repping-
hard for someone like me to bluff because they know I'm capable. So it's like
Right, so you're
I might
just
get looked up
repping a
here.
straight there?
Yeah, 100%.
Do
No,
you-
100%. Yeah,
Because you're never just shoving with
it's a
2
straight.
pair, right?
He has a
Yeah.
overpair, like
You have to have a
100%.
straight or nothing.
And it's a but it's a
and
straight.
his hand is
and
pretty
he's-
face up.
I don't necessarily have to have a straight. I could actually have like 2 weird pairs and just
That's what I
go
was
with
gonna
it.
say.
No, I
Yeah,
can
that's
have other hands.
Is your river sizing the same with 2 pair, or are you sizing it smaller with 2 pair to try to get involved?
With two pair. I could never make a two pair hand.
Yeah, the board was like you remember you let out. You let out like the
I
board
never
was
had
like
a pair.
No, you didn't have any. I know you
No,
didn't
we're
have a pair.
saying when you.
If I have a two pair hand.
Yeah.
You also
No. Okay.
Give us all your strategy.
let's be straight. Let's be straight.
I was like, I didn't have two pair. I didn't have
Let's
a
be
pair.
straight. You had nothing.
No.
King high. King
We all know you had king high.
defended something, some
Right, no,
straddle or
the way
or-
the hand played out though, the board was like 9-6-5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, turns a 4,
Yeah.
rivers
I
an
agree
8.
with
Okay.
Yeah.
When you let out on that flop, because you let out after the raise from Zahn.
Yeah, because that hits me a lot more than it hits him.
Exactly.
It's just-
And we kind of looked at it
Yeah.
and said, wow, you obviously have error in your range, but you also have, you
I
have two
pair
pairs
with,
in your range.
I have a lot of pair with a straight gutter.
Right.
That's what I was
like
saying,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I have all
You have
that.
sets maybe.
I have king
two
3.
pairs.
I have the 9
Yeah.
8.
I guess my
9,
question
7,
for you is,
yeah.
let's say
I made
you
two pair.
had made
made
two
two
pair, you know you have the best hand still.
Yeah.
Are you sizing it that much though?
No, because
you
I'm pretty
shoving your
polar. I mean,
value?
I don't mind being like, I'm whatever. I don't play that often. These guys who know me, but I'm going to.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah. Well, no. These guys. I mean, I play once a month, so it's.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bet. I'm gonna get money from. At times I'll shove when I feel like I'm gonna get called, but I didn't feel I was gonna get called with a
Right,
straight
yeah.
card.
Okay, so guys at home, if he shoves on you, he has nothing.
I have it. I have it or nothing.
Or a straight.
But yeah, obviously a 2 pair kind of hand. It's yeah.
More like a smaller value bet.
I got you. Well, I gotta tell you, man, I've now bumped into you 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
all up here in Northern California.
Yeah.
And you are very quickly becoming one of my favorite people in poker.
Nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
No, seriously, I think yeah, very charming guy.
Yeah.
So I wish you the best. Hopefully you can be here on June 18th. If you can't,
Yeah,
then
I mean, I'd love to.
one of
It's
the
a
runners up
beautiful
will
room,
play.
beautiful.
If you guys want to play at home, 8/16/08 next week. Get your bio in by Wednesday at noon. And of course, there are other ways to get involved in this over the next 4 weeks, which should be a lot of fun.
I just saw that.
Earl is better than what is it? Nitpicker or nitpoker says Earl is better than Tuckman, no doubt.
No, your action though. I want to get you in the game.
No doubt.
Yeah, let's go barrel, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, congratulations. Thanks for tuning in,
Oh,
guys.
this is closing.
Have a great night. Come back next time,
Yeah,
Monday.
good night and goodbye, guys. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you.